South Africa. Welcome to yet another amazing day. Konala Vooka Breakfast Show. It's your full good morning, and obviously we're gonna start you with some positive vibe, some positive energy on your Choose Masketela day. As you all know, it's a Tuesday, and obviously I go by the name of Afriberry, also known as Miss Berry Blaze. But to the darker the berry, the sweeter than Toon. And I never ever travel alone. I'm here with my brother Max for maximum temperature. How are you doing, sir?
Man, I'm good. Thank you so much for that warm welcome. You know, it is the epic and interesting mornings right here on the Vooka Breakfast Show, and I am just happy to be with you. And do make sure that you connect with us on all social media platforms. We are Vooka Breakfast Show, and also you can call us in right now in the studio to talk more. You know, let us engage and talk about stuff that are happening, because that is what the Vooka Breakfast Show is dedicated in doing. So, Berry, I just want to ask you, man, in terms of this beautiful Tuesday, what are you looking forward to?
So far I actually don't have plans for my Tuesday. So I'm basically gonna wing my Tuesday and just see where it takes me. Hopefully numbers and kids and kids from Tanda and fish, because obviously it's a Tuesday. So what about you though?
Yeah, man, I'm looking forward to so many things. I mean, speaking about Tuesday, we know that ahead of the week there are a lot of things that we bring you, but for today I'm just looking forward to the information that our guests are going to serve us, and not only me but someone who is watching right there at home. It's information that you can use on your daily basis. So all you need to do is just to grab that cup of coffee, because you see outside it's cold. And speaking of coldness, you know, we don't take away this phenomenal thing that we do, which is actually bringing you that peak of the morning that you're experiencing right now. If you're driving, if you're watching from home right now, just take a beautiful picture of how's your morning looking like, because I woke up to a full moon today. So you might give us that beautiful pic so that we can share it with you live on the show, right? You might be asking yourself, what are you seeing behind me? So we give you your everyday bread, which is your picture of the day. You know, we always make sure that you improve your bucket list. You travel with your friends and family, whether it's your partner. Do make sure that you go all over where South Africa offers a beautiful scenic and adventure view. So let us get into today's picture of the day. Yes, there are pictures and you're asking yourself, what are you seeing? So it is fine. It is fine. I'm going to take you through. All I want you to do is to look at the images behind me. Just look and feed your eyes with the beauty. Feed your eyes with what South Africa has to offer right here on the Vooka Breakfast Show. Just talk to us, let us know what you think. So, Berry, man, I can't just wait to let people know, man, what they think of our picture of the day as they're looking at images behind me.
Yes, so right now I actually just got informed that it is no longer called the Neighbor Goods Market, and instead it is now called the Playground. So the Playground Market is situated in Braamfontein, Johannesburg, and is a lively hub for food lovers, creative, social explorers. It offers a mix of specialty street foods, artistical crafts, and live music, creating a vibrant atmosphere where people gather together to exchange ideas and soak in the energy of Johannesburg. Now, it was also founded by entrepreneurs Cameron Monroe and Justin Roots. The Playground transformed into a Braamfontein cultural hotspot where visitors can enjoy fresh seasonal produce, handcrafted goods, and of course stunning rooftop views, not forgetting the diverse food options they have from around the world. The Playground of
music, food, and as you spoke about the parking, it is advisable for you to get there as early as possible so that you can get your good parking spot. So for your feel good vibes destination, visit the Neighbor Goods Market and enjoy the full experience, and come back to share those memories with us right here on the Vooka Breakfast Show. So I hope that you got that information. It was helpful for you to know more about the place, travel, see other people out there, and enjoy what South Africa has to offer. Just let us know right there on the comment section, what do you think if you have ever been to the Neighbor Good Market right there in Braamfontein? Bloemfontein. Use the hashtag Vooka Breakfast Show or send us a voice note on 0604933226. It's 0604933226. You know that we always bring you the dose of positivity each and every day right here on the Vooka Breakfast Show. So, Afri, can you please take us through what do we have for today, man?
Yes, today we have our daily bread, as you all know, which is today in history, word of the day, celebrity birthdays, and of course, so much more to explore. Not forgetting our two amazing guests. We have our regular guests coming back again, Osvaldo and Nika. He'll be coming in with some investment options on how to invest on your money and obviously use it wisely. Not forgetting Ness Jane, who will also be giving us the ones into when it comes to our health and how to also keep ourselves fit. But right now we'll be heading over for the weather, and then after that it's the news, sports and traffic update.
Once again, a very good morning. Let's get you updated with those latest news headline for this morning. On your first news headline, Tiger Brands to make settlement offers to listeriosis victims. Tiger Brands is offering settlement to those affected by listeriosis from its products, including individuals who contracted the disease, families of deceased breadwinners, and dependents who were infected. The payments come with conditions and are on an admission of liability. Detail will remain private, and plaintiff attorney will present the offers to claimants sooner. The class action lawsuit is still in its first stage, where the court must determine Tiger Brands' liability. On the next news headline, Afrikaner refugees leaving for U.S. will regret. Discussion on social media reflect mixed reaction to 49 Afrikaners leaving South Africa for the U.S. as refugees. Some argue their refugee status may be revoked under the future of U.S. leadership, while others see it as a betrayal of South African values. The move follows Donald Trump's criticism of the Expropriation Act, claiming Afrikaners face unfair treatment. Some believe Trump aims to attract South African farmers to benefit the U.S. economy. Others warn the immigrants will face cultural and economic challenges in rural America, potentially regretting that decision. The debate continues across various online platforms. On another headline, women alleged to have touched Kelly Smith's house has no regrets. Monique Kekana, arrested for allegedly setting Kelly Smith's house on fire, has been granted 500 rand bail. She touched the house hours after being convicted of kidnapping and child trafficking. In a brief court appearance, she expressed relief over her bail. Outside court, Kekana claimed emotions and anger drove her actions, saying she understands the pain of losing a child. She insisted Smith knows Jocelyn's whereabouts. stating she acted for mothers who share her struggle. That's all for your news headline. Now heading over to your sports news, starting off with football news. Amachita gear up for pivotal clash with a World Cup qualification within reach. Amachita faces a crucial World Cup qualifier against Egypt at the Suez Canal Stadium at 9 p.m. 8 p.m. in SA time. Having topped Group A, coach Mdaka stresses that securing World Cup qualification remains their main goal. Despite concerns over player fatigue, he believes the squad remains fresh after a short recovery period following their draw with Zambia. Managing energy levels is key, with the team balancing rest and preparation amid a demanding tournament schedule. Mdaka insists they will give everything in this decisive match, treating it as a final before the final in the pursuit of a qualification. On the next headline, Real Madrid want Alonso in place for Club World Cup. Xabi Alonso is set to join Real Madrid on the 1st of June to prepare for the FIFA Club World Cup, despite initially planning to arrive later. He recently announced his departure from Bayer Leverkusen, where he won a Bundesliga and German Cup double. Real Madrid has yet to confirm Carlo Ancelotti's exit, though the Italian is expected to leave after a farewell match on the 25th of May. Ancelotti is in talks to become Brazil's coach before 2026 World Cup qualifiers. Real is also working on signing Liverpool's Trent Alexander-Arnold ahead of the Club World Cup in June. Heading over to your basketball news, Pacers win to edge closer to conference final. The Indiana Pacers dominated Cleveland, setting a franchise playoff record with 80 first half points in a crucial win. Pascal Siakam scored 21, while Miles Turner and Obi Toppin added 20 each as the Pacers rebounded from a Game 3 loss. The Cavaliers missed Donovan Mitchell in the second half due to injury. Meanwhile, the Oklahoma City Thunder edged the Denver Nuggets 92-87, leveling their series 2-2. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander led with 25 points, while Nikola Jokic scored 27 for Denver. Fatigue showed as Nuggets coach David Adelman called the game disgusting. Game 5 is on Wednesday. On the cricket news, India great Kohli retires from Test cricket. Virat Kohli has announced his retirement from Test cricket following Rohit Sharma's exit ahead of India's 5-Test tour of England starting on the 20th of June. Kohli, India's most successful Test captain, played 123 Tests, scoring 9,230 runs with 30 centuries. He led India to 40 wins, shaping the team's modern identity. His departure marks a transition for Indian cricket, leaving behind a legacy of passion and technical brilliance. Cricket analyst Kohli with preserving the significance of Test cricket amid the rise of T20 leagues. He will continue playing on the ODs while India prepare for a new era without its talismanic leader. That's all for now. Stay tuned for more sports and news updates throughout the show. Don't forget to share your thoughts on these headlines with us on social media using the hashtag Vooka Breakfast Show, and send us your voice note on 060-493-3226. Now let's keep you safe on the roads with your latest traffic update.
Vooka Breakfast Show.
We're out here in the heart of Soweto, Top Santon. This is right next to Zondi Hills and just before you get to Broad Fisher Club. I'm out here, my name is Musi West. I'm out here with the one and only maximum temperature. I'm working my TC Shabanana Wakamazibugo, and of course our station manager, the one and only Manelin Lyric. And we're traveling out here, man. This is what we do on the Vooka Breakfast Show.
Yeah, you gotta get it fresh.
We are fresh and nice. Now it's time to take the information to the people.
Of course, like Mo just mentioned, do stay tuned, comment, like, subscribe, share your thoughts and your opinions and everything else in between. We're going to be coming to a street to do live near you, wanting to know what your thoughts are out there on the street.
First, we've got TC Mazibugo with the traffic update. Right now, we are going to N1 southbound to make sure that whatever that you guys get, it is real-time information.
Yes,
so looking at Mukhorosi, we have robots that are not working right here, but the traffic is moving. We're going to look at when is your rush hour time, when people are from the work or from school,
yes,
right?
Sir. Yes,
gonna give you your daily update, so do make sure that you stay with us. Mobile Vooka Breakfast
Yes,
Show.
sir. Hey family,
Hi,
My name is Tisiga Mazbugo Shabalala.
My name is Moketi Maimane.
my name is Musi Mist
my name is Ketua Ketumguni
on the Vooka
Vooka Breakfast Show.
Every weekdays from 7 a.m.
to 10 a.m.
This is where we are going to have our topical discussion featuring various experts from different fields.
We're going to take care of you and it's going to be amazing, man. Right now I'm on the set of the Vooka Breakfast Show brought to you by the Blinko Network.
Do not forget to subscribe.
That's Vooka Breakfast Show on Facebook and all other social media platforms.
Vooka.
See you there.
Hey family,
Hi,
My name is Tisiga Mazbugo Shabalala.
My name is Moketi Maimane.
my name is Musi Mist
my name is Ketua Ketumguni
on the Vooka
Vooka Breakfast Show.
Every weekdays from 7 a.m.
to 10.
Welcome back, Mzansi. A grand and peaceful rising to you. Let me get you safe to wherever you may be going on those roads with your next traffic update. So, the first traffic update reads, there are roadworks that are taking place on the R21 southbound shortly after the Baxfontein Road. The road from the ramp from the R25 onto the R21 is affected, and out of the four available lanes, one of the lanes is closed. On your next traffic update, a stationary vehicle is blocking the road on the N1 northbound Western bypass just after the ramp from the 14th Avenue M9 from the due to this, the shoulder emergency lane on the ramp from the 14th Avenue M8 is closed. There has been a crash on the N1 southbound Pretoria Main Road just after the ramp from the Samran Avenue M36. The shoulder lane on the ramp from the Samran Avenue M36 is closed. That's all for now from your Vooka traffic. If you do happen to be on the roads, do make sure to share what is any traffic disruptions and to share your traffic update using the hashtag Vooka Breakfast Show and the hashtag Vooka Traffic, or send your voice notes on 060-493-3226. Now let's get into what is obviously promising to be another energetic start to your day.
Escape the ordinary and discover the extraordinary with Swellapil Tours. Whether you're a group of friends or a family looking for a memorable getaway, Swellapil Tours has you covered. Our all-inclusive tours take you to South Africa's most stunning destinations, from the scenic beauty of Mpumalanga to the vibrant life of Gauteng and the coastal charm of Durban.
Well, yeah, shopping blossom memory.
Wow!
Hey, good morning, Vooka Nation. I hope you guys are feeling hella fantastic and that you guys are also doing okay. I hope that you guys are also well settled in with yourself. Ka re le welcome-ile ga monate ka Vooka Breakfast. Ka re ne re nagana gore kaofela le tsogile mavuka a matle ebile le ipsile itumetse go nna le rona gompieno. But I hope you guys are also feeling fantastic, right? So we just had our news, sport, and traffic update, obviously from Max for maximum temperature. Not forgetting UTC. I'm not gonna say the full name because we always end up butchering it. How you doing, guys, though?
Yeah, man, it's a beautiful Tuesday right here on the Vooka Breakfast Show. You know, man, it's the energetic start to the day. And I can't wait, man, for what this day promises to become. You know, because we know that on a Tuesday we needed to choose something. Yeah, I think I'm not picking up. Can you hear me, though? Can you hear me?
I can't even hear myself.
Yeah, can we take just a short break? There we go. There we go.
Oh, thank you, God.
go.
Hey,
Yeah.
technical.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I think we need to choose the equipment for today, because if it fails us, we are in deep trouble. But yeah, man, I'm doing so good, man, this morning. Can't complain, because life is lifing, man. You know, but we need to soldier on and go on. But in all contrast, I'm happy to be here with the Vooka Nation because that's where most of my happiness comes from. You know, just being with the Vooka family right here in the Vooka Breakfast Show. But I am thank you, and I don't know how you're doing right there at home. And TC, how's your morning, man?
Aye, man, I'm feeling great. Yeah. A tricky start to the day,
Yeah,
but
man.
a start nonetheless. We are here, Vooka Nation, live from the heart of Soweto, Dob Santon, like Musi Mist loves to call it.
Yeah.
And I am obviously your prime cut creative and your positivity dose of the day. UTC Gamazibugo Shabalala Umam Shengu Omuhle Idak Dindi Lenu. And I'm happy to be here. It's a Tuesday morning. So what are you choosing today? Are you choosing to do something different when it comes to your finances? Don't worry, Osvaldo Nyaka, has your back. He will be talking investments with us here on personal finance. And of course, we then have nurse Jane Muhononi, who will be telling us about, how to take care of ourselves. And obviously focusing on gut health, because of course, if your gut is not doing well, I found out that is where, you then feel sluggish, you get bloated. And generally then you don't have energy like we give you here on the Vooka Breakfast Show.
So TC,
yeah.
out of curiosity, if my gut is not sensing the right things, is it also malfunctioning?
No, so gut health. So it has to do with the kind of food you eat, probiotics, and just your regulation of your digestive system. So she will be getting into that. So what are you choosing to do correctly today? What are you choosing to do better? Are you choosing yourself? Ketom Tandayo, give a shout out to somebody that you are choosing today on this Tuesday, because I'm choosing to be happy regardless of technical issues or like anything, man. Nothing can stop me from having a good day.
Yeah, man. And speaking of choosing, man, I have to choose a chartered flight, to go to the US and join the Afrikaners who have left us right here. And it's something that is making, the top of the headlines right now. And I don't know how many South Africans feel about this, but I can tell you that a lot of them, they're like, okay, it's fine. Just leave them, guys. Leave them in peace. But also, it speaks to the message that they're going to send in the US. Because people are going to ask them, guys, why, did you come to the US? What is happening?
Yeah, because
in your
if
country?
you are a refugee, it means you had to go take refuge. You are running away. You are seeking safety, a place of safety. It means then, that paints the picture that South Africa has become unsafe for people who aren't of color. And which is, in my opinion, incorrect, because of course, as any country, we have our issues and our domestic issues that we need to fix, and our domestic politics that we have to tackle. But in no way is this some sort of, genocide or, human rights violation. In fact, it's just a government who is trying to redress, a government that has had injustices and just address issues that, just fixing domestic politics. This is all that this is. And of course now this has now looked, it's taken a narrative of its own to look like, there's some sort of, genocide or mass injustice being done to a certain group of people that are being specifically targeted. And hey, man, I don't know about that. It's
and
tricky.
the funny part is that even the leader of AfriForum was apparently not impressed over the fact that only 49 people actually got on that plane. So for him, it was it was a bit of a disappointment that only 49 people managed to get on the plane. And then how do you call yourself AfriForum, but you're not for Africans anyway? So and then you also look at the fact that Donald Trump also commented on the fact that the 49 so-called refugees from South Africa went to the US. As like so the genocide. He's not happy with the fact that the South African media is not covering the so-called apparent genocide and land confiscation that is happening. So me, I just want to ask, out of curiosity, when they came to South Africa and landed with Jan van Riebeeck, I'm referring to their forefathers, did they carry land in the boats?
Hey, man. I mean, with this one, it's a very tricky situation because the president, Mr. Cyril Ramaphosa himself, in a brief, he was asked, a question, which is the burning question of saying, do you consider them, as refugees? And then Ramaphosa was like, as you mentioned, that, being a refugee needs to be influenced by something that is happening in your country, whether it's religious wars, political wars that influence you to go outside.
Seek safety, I can understand somebody from Ukraine or Gaza,
Exactly.
deciding to say I am seeking refugee because what's going on there is terrible. There's war, there's bombings, people are dying on a daily basis on a mass scale. So where is that happening here?
So in an executive order issued on Feb the 7th, Trump said the United States will help resettling African refugees escaping government-sponsored race-based discrimination, including racially discriminatory property confiscation. He condemned what he called the country's shocking disregard of its citizens' rights, specifically stating the government had seized the agriculture property of a white Afrikaner without compensating them. Right, so it's some of the news that they called and deemed as misinformation, to the Trump administration that no land is being confiscated. I mean, when we speak about land, you need to have proper documents for having the land, because some of the people and some of the Afrikaners, and also like it applies to every citizen in South Africa. There are people with land that does not belong to them. Both black and white people everywhere. So this one, it literally calls, for, let us talk about what's the next step. But for other people, the netizens of South Africa, they're like, guys, there's no steps. You are crying about people confiscating land. But what about the crime that is happening, in the township? What about, the illegal foreigners who come, and occupy buildings? And those buildings, they end up being filled with so much illegal activity going on. But that's where we are. They were flying, and they arrived, I think, yesterday morning.
Yeah, they did. And apparently somebody, I read a very cute and quirky comment or caption from Daily Sun. So you know what they said? They said, yesterday in the history of South Africa, in early May 2025, it will officially mark the year when 49 Afrikaners decided to leave South Africa for the US, when we were celebrating a time where our forefathers fought for the democracy that we now have in our country. And when you put it like that, it has a lot to say, man, because it also puts a taint in the democracy and the freedom that we're currently celebrating for them to make such a move during this pivotal and very important time that we were literally celebrating the fact that they're now 31 years into democracy, and yet we still need to celebrate such things. Like for now, right now, we're about to celebrate the fact that people are gonna get their money because of listeriosis.
Yeah, man.
All right. And like another thing that I was thinking about is that, like when we covered, that, march for, that Bosa held.
Yeah.
That act is to assist things like that, where buildings that are abandoned and that are unused by the city, literally sitting and not benefiting anybody. They can be used. That is land, I guess.
Yeah.
So like that can be used to be given to communities or individuals that can literally use that to their benefit, to redress some of the issues that are the socio-economic issues we currently face in our societies right now in South Africa.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's not just about like, hey man, we are land grabbing, so-called white land. It's also to just take back land that is just unused, abandoned, hijacked buildings. You guys, it's really sad that such a major turn point for the financial and just overall freedom of Black South Africans is now taking on the face of saying that, oh no, these people are trying to take away what is rightfully ours. No, but what do you say about, like those abandoned buildings where nobody's using them, but the city is and the city is not doing anything with them. And now, people are like, no, but we want to use that land. We can use it for housing. We can use it for whatever, but that's land also, isn't it? So why are you only trying to focus it to say to drive a narrative and what I really view as propaganda to say now you targeting a certain group. It's not targeting a certain group. It's just to say, but guys, this land, there's spatial planning that literally was made to discriminate against a certain group. But now we are saying, let's redress that. Let's recalibrate. Let's replan this thing.
I don't think it actually has anything to do with a land that has buildings that have not been used. If you take this thing into consideration, giving back the land to its original owners, which is basically the South African Black people, is something that has been going on for a long time. So when you look at this whole thing at the point, like for example, how it is currently happening right now, it'll also make you aware of the fact that this means that people have been already and officially getting back the land that they're supposed to be getting, right? And hence now there's a fight that why are they getting their land back and all of that? Because let's be frank, man, it's more about the farmland, which is basically the richest land that you could ever have in South Africa. Take a look at, when you empower a Black person to have a land for them to farm, it's empowering generations that are still yet to come. And then most of the land that is being sorted back is farms.
Yeah.
Okay,
these people have already established business for the longest times on those farms. If you cannot say we are illegally taking back the land from you, if you have a title deed dating back maybe to 1940 when they first arrived, that proves that TC I'm giving you this land when you are giving me like a roll of cloth that I can use to make clothes, then fine, you can keep the land. Because right now it is also going to prove and uncover that most of the people that are farmers on those land do not even have the original title deeds or do not even have a proof that no, TC's forefather actually sold me this land. Hence it's now becoming a problem. If you look at this properly, these people are fighting over the fact that they probably don't even have any proof that yes, they bought the land or they did barter trading for the land.
Yeah,
that's why it becomes a problem.
The conversation that we are having right now, surely where they are, they're like, yeah, we are winning, because the more we speak about this, it's the more they're going to keep on, keeping the land while we don't pay attention to serious things like those buildings in the CBD, that are decaying. In terms of industrialization, South Africa can be far, and it's possible to do it in the next 5 years. There is money. It's just that they're going to tell you that no, we need to do this and that. But honestly speaking, there is money to work on those buildings and create employment. I mean, with the narrative that Bosa is trying to make is look at Joburg itself. Why the city that is considered, a CBD, where businesses are happening, where, a lot of economical activities are taking place, is falling apart. Is the question that they're asking themselves that, okay, it's fine. If you are going to let the city fall apart, then let us rebuild the townships, because townships have a lot of economic activities and buildings are going derelict at this moment. So let us make sure that we work on that. Instead of, going and fighting for the land where people are going to get shot and a lot of people will lose their lives, let us make sure that we focus on making sure that these buildings, they work for the people in the townships and in the communities as a large, So this, it teaches us in terms of the things that we are focusing on. Right now we are focusing on people who have already landed in the United States. It's fine. And I like what other netizens will say, like, guys, let them go. We have our problems that we need to solve here. And that is why we are here today. We are going to solve those problems. And there are so many cases that go by without being solved. So we need to raise them and make sure that, entities and, like your NPAs, they come in forward. They make sure that justice is served in South Africa. Right now, 21st of May, they're going to revisit the budget speech. So it's something that we should be focusing on. They are gone, guys. So I don't think we should be stressing about them. They are gone. If I fly, I go to Malawi, don't stress about me, guys. I'm gone. I know why I'm going there. So it's as simple as that, with this one. But I don't even think it should be making the top of the headlines, man. I mean, like, we can't be waking up and speaking about Afriberu who flew. He went to Egypt.
Mama, why do you keep referring to me as a he when man? You know what?
I said she.
You said he. Don't worry, we're going to do a playback. You'll hear yourself. When you said about so many cases, regarding this whole listeriosis case, me, I even forgot that they even applied for a lawsuit. How long ago was this whole listeriosis thing, man?
Hey.
It happened before COVID, if I'm correct.
Yeah.
Imagine. We are still talking about things that happened during COVID, post-COVID. I totally forgot that there's even a lawsuit against Tiger Brands regarding the whole listeriosis debacle.
I mean, it made sense because after the listeriosis, COVID came. So a lot of business suffered, so they couldn't settle that, case in that time. So it took them time. And they've shown that, guys, we did a mistake and we're going to be held accountable and we are responsible for what happened. I mean, a lot of people, they lost their lives. Others, they almost lost their lives. So with this one happening...
others replied to lose their lives. Because we had some people like... So
I think that's where we are. So with this one, yes, Tiger Brands, they are offering settlement to those affected. I don't know if you guys were affected. You want a settlement? Were you affected?
I enjoyed.
I fortunately didn't know anybody who in my personal circle that was affected or had gotten affected by listeriosis,
including you.
Including me. I didn't at the time. I wasn't consuming any of that.
Yeah, I was, but I survived.
What did you eat?
Strong.
Yo, bruh, I ate that polony, bro. My bro, I helped like that whole thing, And then when my stomach showed me that I'm a survivor, I'm not gonna give up. When I survived. Did you survive, or do you know anybody who had actually contracted or got infected with listeriosis?
No, guys, we eat cheap things. So the Escort, was it Escort? Escort food brands. It was expensive for some of us. So we ate the normal French that we buy, the 20 rand one that was made with
French
remainings of dead animals. It's nice though, we are here. We are strong. So with eating those things. So it's nothing, man. I was not affected. As keys to those who were affected by listeriosis, man. It's bad, man. It's bad.
It was bad though, like amen. But then
it was very weird.
Vele as South Africans though, like we always turn our pain into like
laughter. Yeah.
The one thing that killed me was just the social media, like jokes and all the memes that came out during that time, the videos, the content. But but on that serious note was that people actually lost lives. That was a bad time for Tiger Brands. They took a knock there, and for the longest time, I remember them trying to come back from that. I mean, I guess they're still working on it. Yeah. Because here they are, still having to compensate.
Settle the matters, man. Settle the matters.
That incident,
Yeah, they gotta settle the matters. But it was so weird, man. South Africans, people literally did TikTok videos like, the reels go Facebook.
Hey, man. Some of the things that people experiment with. I mean, with COVID, it's something that we saw, but it started with the US. People coming out and saying COVID is a myth, it's a lie. I'm not wearing a mask.
I remember. Yeah.
No, I think South Africa, we only fully realized that COVID is real. Remember, they came out a video of this other grandmother crying out on Facebook. And then Maporisa did the song Hambana Maporisa, and then in the clubs it became a thing. Noctula Corona Noctula Hambana Maporisa. And then literally a month after that song became a banger, which was in March. South Africa people have now contracted COVID. Now it's time to close. And then do you know South Africans in their business mind? I just wonder where they stocked up the cigarettes and the booze. Hey, they stocked up. Imagine buying a bottle of Hennessy that you spend 1.5 for 300 and something to buy, and you buy it at 3K because you're desperate.
There's always that emergency plan, man. I mean, everyone.
But remember that emergency plan they had COVID when they dug all those graves. Was that not was that not distasteful?
It was bad, and I think it got a lot of people in order, because now you're going to behave like, there's my grave right there, I'm looking at my grave right there. No. So hey, let me stop buying those illegal cigarettes and illegal alcohol that I made
see
in the
that
bedrooms.
one, bro. But I think it also came in properly when we saw our parents and people getting smacked in the street, bro.
Yeah.
I almost got locked up during COVID.
I
almost got locked up because after work, I was dating this other guy during COVID. After work, bruh, we went we're gonna chill. In the street, Yumbazo Joe. Gushi spins lapha. Paki imoto, full plastic, like imoto phume half, siyabona imoto ama-parent room. It's like abandlulile basinaga. Loom, did we not run? You know those TikTok videos, run. My guy, that was me. I jumped over a wall that day. We ran like crazy.
Yeah, man. But when it comes to fun, man, South Africa doesn't disappoint. Man.
No, we don't.
Making sure that we laugh each and every day. But yeah, speaking of fun, man, let us just welcome people who are in the chat right there on YouTube. I have Tembi Mnei saying a very good morning, team. #Vooka Breakfast Show. #Sivugile on a very beautiful Tuesday. Yeah, and then Tembi Mnei coming back and say yesterday was later. Team also did enjoy the ending. That's what we bring you, man. Epic and interesting mornings right here, man. Is that dose of positivity, because today we're going to have a nest that is going to give us a dose of medicine. You understand? And then coming back and say #morning Afriberry, Mamshing Omuhle and Mr. Mo. A very good morning to you, Miss Tembi. I hope you're having a very good morning because it's cold. Please keep warm, guys. Yabanda, kuyabanda. And then Zinzi saying #Vooka Breakfast Show. Good morning, beautiful team. #Sivugile. Of course, a wonderful morning to you, Miss Zia. And then KT. Good morning. Hashtag Vooka Gang. Hashtag Vooka Breakfast Show. That's what we do, man. Each and every morning, bringing you all the amazing stuff.
Yes, so talking about amazing stuff, now we're about to go into our daily bread, which is today in history. So right now, today in history, they say 1989. Yes, 1989, thousands of students began a hunger strike in Tiananmen Square in Beijing. The first two student hunger strikes during the 1989 Tiananmen Square protest and massacre began on the 13th of May in 1989 in Beijing. The students said that they were willing to risk their lives to gain the government's attention. Now, very little, but South Africa, we won't go on a hunger strike. I don't think we'll survive a hunger strike, South Africans. No, I'm speaking about myself. Myself, and I won't survive it. And in 1950, the first Formula One World Championship season kicks off. In 1950, the Formula One season was the fourth season of the FIA Formula One motor racing. It featured the inaugural FIA World Championship of Drivers, which was contested over 7 races between 13 May and 3 September 1950. The only one outside of Europe was the Indiana. I can read this. Wait, just give me a few seconds. TC, help me here. I quit.
Indianapolis.
Indianapolis, that word. Indianapolis 500, which was run to AAA National Championship regulations. Hey, my English is formed into regulations. No Formula One drivers competed in the Indy 500 or vice versa. Finally, the season was included. The season also included several 9 championship races for Formula One cars. Alfa Romeo entered a supercharged 158 well-developed pre-war design that debuted in 1938 and managed to win all 6 races they competed in. Italian Nino and Argentine teammate Juan Manuel Fangio won 3 races and set 3 fastest laps, but Fangio did not score points in any other 3 races, while Fangio finished 4th in Belgium, handing him the championship. So basically, Formula One has like a lot of history. The only person I know for Formula One is Lewis Hamilton. The rest, I don't know them.
Yeah, man. Oh.
Like
the biggest championship in the world. Man.
That's the biggest one ever. And is Michael Schumacher also Formula One? Ne?
Yeah.
Obvious. I just know Michael Schumacher, Formula One, Lewis Hamilton. And in 1940, Igor Swarovski pilots his VS-300 helicopter maiden flight. Igor Swarovski VS-300 helicopter flight made its first untethered flight on the 13th of May in 1940. This pioneering aircraft was the first successful single main rotor helicopter in the US, laying the foundation for modern helicopter design. Sikorsky continued refining the VS-300, eventually starting a world endurance record in 1941 by staying airborne for 1 hour, 32 minutes, and 26 seconds. So basically, helicopters were created in 1940. The first helicopter was created in 1940, which led to the dominance and pioneering amazing designs that we now have of helicopters. And today, into our calendar, we are 133 days into the year, and would have been 134 days if it was a leap year. And we have 232 days left of 2025, and we are 32 weeks remaining. Oh my gosh, we have 32 weeks remaining. Oh, Lord. And then celebrity birthdays, we have Lukaku, who was born on the 13th of May, 1993. Lukaku ke mang mo?
Romelu, come on, man. You don't
Is
know
the soccer
Romelu.
star.
Yeah, but hey, let me not waste your time. Please continue. But anyway, happy birthday to Romelu. Belgian striker.
Okay.
And right now, I think he plays for AC Milan. No, he's in the Serie A. But yeah, Romelu, man. Biggest striker signed for Man United under Jose Mourinho, won the Europa League in 2016. Good team they formed that time. Yeah, man, he deserves to be celebrated, bro.
Okay. So Lukaku, also known as Romelu, is turning 32 today and has had a prolific and noteworthy journey in the football world, all the while being known for his stately physicality that helps him surmount opponent defenders. So happy birthday to you, sir. And then, So Romelu Lukaku is a Belgian footballer who plays as a striker for Napoli and the Belgium national team. He began his career at Lens, later moving to Chelsea, Everton, Manchester United and Inter Milan, securing titles and personal accolades along the way. His record-breaking transformers reflect his all-time top goal scorer. Reflect his talent, with Chelsea signing him for a club record of 93.5 million euros. That's a lot of money. Yes. And then Romelu returned to Italy on loan before permanently joining Napoli as Belgium's all-time top goal scorer. He has represented his country in multiple European Champions and World Cups, earning the Bronze Boot in 2018. Wait, after this, I want you to basically explain what's the Bronze Boot.
Bronze.
The Bronze Boot. Soccer player.
Oh, there's a golden boot, silver boot, and a bronze boot, and a golden glove. But
golden glove get you goalkeeper.
Yeah.
And then we're also celebrating Stevie Wonder. Now, he was born on the 13th of May in 1950 and is turning 75. Oh my gosh, my grandmother qualifies to be a girl. Stevie Wonder. Wow, they're around about the same age, my bro. Around the same age. And then Stevie Wonder is an American Ghanaian. I didn't know he's actually Ghanaian. Wow. Stevie Wonder is an American Ghanaian singer, songwriter, musician, and record producer, celebrated as one of the most influential artists of the 20th century. A child prodigy who sang with Motown at 11, he pioneered the use of synthesizers and R&B, revolution. I can't say it. Like, it can't come out.
Revolutionary.
What? Revolutionizing contemporary music. His 1970s classical period saw Grammy-winning albums like Innovations and Songs in the key of life, while in 1980s brought commercial success with major hits and collaborations. With over 100 million records sold, 25 Grammy Awards, and numerous honors, he remains an icon of music and activism, notably championing the recognition of Martin Luther King Day and serving as United Nations messenger of peace. Now that is amazing. So now we're going to be celebrating Z-Woos. Wheeze.
Z-Weezy.
Wheezy.
I don't know.
Wheeze. Because get W, it's W-E-E-S. Is it Wheeze?
I guess, yeah.
Z-Wheeze.
Waze.
Guys.
Wait, is it Rachel Waze?
It's actually Zoe Waze, actually.
Okay.
Zoe Waze.
Okay.
So Zoe Waze was born on the 13th of May, 2002. Wow. Tata 2000. She's turning 23. She competed in the 5th season of The Voice Kids and chose pop singer Sasha to be her mentor in the blind auditions, right? And then Zoe is a German singer. Her debut single Control charted several nations, including #1 in France and top 10 in Belgium. We's born in Hamburg, overcame epilepsy, guys. She overcame epilepsy. See this one. I am not a nurse. I won't butcher myself. But she overcame epilepsy, shaping her into a fighter. Her music is raw and emotional, featuring powerful vocals and instrumental talent, right? So, guys, do we have word of the day?
Word of the day. I think it's something that we need to look by just taking a short break, because I think people need to digest what we've just read.
Yeah,
because,
and I'm very sorry that you guys need to digest my butchering,
yeah,
but
ma'am,
as time goes
we're
on,
going to fail here. Man. I mean, I mean, it's something that a lot of students were complaining about, at school, man. It's like, principal, our history teacher is not make sure, man.
That's why I never did history in my life, because I know I'd be butchering those names, including the places. I'm like, what guys in Wagwan here.
Yeah.
So guys, let's head over for a quick ad break, and then we'll be coming back with word of the day, and of course keeping you entertained. And then after that, we'll be having Osvaldo, who'll be giving us a few pointers on how to invest our money wisely. Hey? So right now, let's go over for a quick ad break. We'll be back, right?
Vooka breakfast show.
We're out here in the heart of Soweto, Top Santon. This is right next to Zondi Hills, and just before you get to Broad Fisher Club, I'm out here. My name is Musi Nest. I'm out here with the one and only maximum temperature. I'm working my man. TC Shabalala Wakamazibugo, and of course our station manager, the one and only Manele Lyric. And we're traveling out here, man. This is what we do on the Vooka breakfast show.
Yeah, you gotta get it fresh.
We are fresh and nice. Now it's time to take the information to the people.
Of course, like Mo just mentioned, do stay tuned, comment, like, subscribe, share your thoughts and your opinions and everything else in between. We're going to be coming to a street to do live near you, wanting to know what your thoughts are out there on the street.
Of course, we've got TCO Wamazibugo with the traffic update. Right now, we are going to N1 southbound to make sure that whatever that you guys get, it is real-time information.
Yes, sir.
So, looking at Mukhorosi, we have robots that are not working right here, but the traffic is moving. We're going to look at when is your rush hour time, when people are from the work, from school,
yes,
right?
Sir. Yes,
I'm going to give you your daily update. So do make sure that you stay with us. Mobile Vooka breakfast show.
Yes, sir. Hey family.
Hi,
My name is Tisiga Mazibugo Shabalala.
My name is Moketi Maimane.
My name is Musi Nest.
my name is Ketsuake Mgunyo.
On the Vooka
Vooka Breakfast Show.
Every weekdays from 7 a.m.
to 10 a.m.
This is where we are going to have our topical discussion featuring various experts from different fields.
We're going to take care of you and it's going to be amazing, man. Right now I'm on the set of the Vooka Breakfast Show, brought to you by the Blink-On Network.
Do not forget to subscribe.
That's Vooka Breakfast Show on Facebook and all other social media platforms.
Vooka.
See you there.
Yes, we're back right now. So UTC was a word of the day, TC, right? So can you please kindly read us the word of the day? Because I went to a simple school, my brother. I went to a simple school. This whole bombification of bombastic words is above my head.
So, today's word of the day is peregrine. So, peregrine means, as an adjective, means coming from another country, foreign or outlandish. It also can mean one who has a tendency to wander. One who is having a tendency to wander. So, peregrine means, as an adjective, it means coming from another country, foreign or outlandish. And it is a word that can be a descriptive word for a tendency, having a tendency to wonder. So, of course, it fits, right?
Yeah.
I mean, to the
Yeah,
headline
it
we
does.
read.
Yeah.
I was about to say the same thing. I'm like, so they are, wait, what's the word again?
Peregrine.
So we had a beautiful nation that was filled with joy until a peregrine group decided to migrate.
Yeah.
Because it's like they're migrating.
Okay, peregrine group decided to migrate. I love that. Okay.
Because they are
How would
group and bebasha umuntu one ukuthi bahambe kahle kahle nge-equilibrium bahambe
Yeah,
baphelele
50.
equally.
Yeah.
Awantu banosele othi kathi hayi guys mina ngiyasala le mzansi.
And you?
Yeah, man. I think can you just please yeah, exactly 12 o'clock. So I'm just gonna play with the one that has to do with wandering.
Okay.
Because I have a lot of tendency of wandering, with a
Yeah.
lot of things. Every day of my life I just wander, because I think it's good to wander because it opens that horizon for you to get some of the things that you didn't know. So I myself will actually describe me as a person that every time I'm exposed to a new environment, I go to the state of a peregrine.
You go into a state of peregrine.
Yeah. I'm wondering. Each and every time I'm in a new environment, I'm always wondering about
Okay.
what, influence, what has inspired this environment to be here, because the wandering also goes to a point that as much as people are creating, environments for themselves, there'll be that group of people, there'll be your chakra hands right there in the corner. I have to wonder, man, why are those hands, sitting by themselves right there? So that state of peregrine always come to me each and every time when I'm exposed to a new environment, just to ask myself about the different kinds of people and cultures that we have. So each and every time I go to a new place, the state of peregrine just comes right in my mind. Yeah.
Okay, the state of peregrine. Okay. I guess I could say the recent immigration of Afrikaners to the United States paints a peregrine portrait of disillusionment, restless souls seeking refuge abroad, even as the promise of unified rainbow nation remains unfinished at home.
Indeed, man. I mean, soon I'm going to be a peregrine. You guys are going to be speaking with me because someday I will be relocating to Sweden.
Oh, you wanna go to Sweden? What?
Yes,
you wanna be chocolate there?
What?
He wants to be a Swiss master
Swedish.
chocolatier.
Yeah, man. I mean, I've been taught about the theory of choosing one country, that you don't know anything of. Like, honestly speaking, I just know that people in Sweden speak Swedish. Other than that, I don't know anything about the country. So it's nice when you get there for yourself and you start to know things, right there in the midst of, arriving. Because a lot of us, we do not travel because we think we know. You just read about Portugal. They're Portuguese speaking. They eat zazazri.
Now you're speaking in French.
Go and eat that zazazri there. Go and eat the zazazri there. And then you come back and tell us about the zazazri. I think that's some of the things that prevents us from traveling. You don't want to go to Cape Town because you heard that, there's a certain language, atmosphere that, no. Go there and experience it, my friend.
So you that wants to go to Sweden, do you know the Swedish house mafia?
No, I don't. Don't tell me about it. You're going to spoil everything that I'm trying to create for myself right here. Because I don't know anything about Sweden. So me just getting there at Sweden, I'm like, you know what? Let me just start exploring by myself. Let me start from start. Okay, I want to know about the Swedish culture. I want to know about the Swedish people. I just want to know about the history of the country. Go to Zimbabwe. I mean, the only thing we know about Zimbabwe is Mugabe. right?
Mapungubwe. I know a lot. I mean, we studied in school, so
Yeah, you studied Zimbabwe.
history
Of Zimbabwe.
History, yes.
Oh, okay.
We did touch on the history of Zimbabwe.
Nice.
And I mean, I know a couple of Zimbabweans.
Oh, nice.
Eh,
Oh,
Zulubo.
I also worked with
TC
them
Zurubo.
on my aunt's
But that's not Zimbabwe.
It is.
Is it?
Yeah.
What does it mean?
Zulu boy.
Zurubo. It's like hi. It's almost like saying hi. That's
Is it Shona?
It's Shona.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I also there were also Zimbabwean nationals on at my my aunt's butcher, Kopitori, right? So this other one was Moyo. So he was always saying, there's this lady, Cecilia.
Yes.
Cecilia. Mazai, Mazai. I always ask myself, what is Mazai? Kanti Mazai is eggs in Shona.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so like that's when I was like, Moyo, what's Mazai, bruh? Like you're always saying Mazai, because one of my family members, well, from my mom's side, my mom's surname is Matai, you know. So I'm like, I'm trying to pronounce Matai because this is my aunt related to my mom. You talking about it. It's like, no, Mazai is actually eggs. So Cecilia, Mazai on the quarter because Cecilia makes quarters in the kitchen.
Okay.
You know,
like
so,
add an egg.
yeah.
Oh, hey, you are already getting offended there, Mo. Thinking
I'm
they're
like,
talking
Aibu.
about your mama or
Aibu,
somebody.
Moyo.
Like,
Aibu,
hey.
Aibu.
Yeah, some of the other things that I learned in Shona is things that I cannot say live on air.
don't,
It's always the swear. Why do people always when they wanna learn a new
The
language
focus
like
is on bad things.
yeah, it's on the bad words like
But I care about it. That's how you learn, man.
really.
Yeah,
That's how you
apparently,
learn.
but then that's not how I learned some of like the other languages. Like when I go Sweden,
Yeah.
you need to have a sweet tooth because I get Sweden is.
Don't tell me about Sweden.
Okay,
You guys
okay. I
don't
get it. The
listen.
world is very beautiful, so me, I want to go to Greece.
Yeah, go to Greece. Don't speak Greek here.
No, but I can eat a Greek salad.
Okay.
I ain't gonna speak Greek, but I can have me a Greek salad. Well, for me, I think one of the reasons why I'd like to go to Greek, it's obviously because of Greek mythology. So your Zeus, your Aphrodite. That's like one of the things I'd definitely like to learn more about. And then apparently there's like, in Greek, there's like a huge population decline to a point that the Greek government is even paying people to literally come, relocate, and live in Greece.
Okay.
So for like a year, if I'm correct, a year to 5 years, you get paid by the Greek government. They give you a house. They give you Greece.
I mean, it's 317 RTP. We are doing it here in SA.
RDP, Marunani 370, two different
Already,
things.
We are getting paid, man.
No,
to live
the
in
difference is
SA.
that with them, it's not change. You get paid like real money. You get paid like almost like 50 US dollars.
Oh, I wonder.
Like 50,000 US dollars, brother. That's like a lot
I very
converted.
agree.
So imagine, I'll agree. Then the other country that I also wanted to visit is Venice, but apparently Venice is like now becoming a sinkhole because the water keeps on rising. So it's no longer the floating city, it's now the sinking city.
Venice or Venda?
Venice.
Venda is a country, man.
Why
Very
we nah?
beautiful country. Like,
Give
no,
us
like, shout out to Venda
Venice,
people,
which is in Vienna.
man. Yeah.
Make it
Shout out to Venda people, though.
like, but it's
Yeah.
not a country.
Yes, but I'm saying it's a country. We all know that Venda is a country. With what Venda people are doing to
Highway.
the country, man, it's nice. No. Like I'm serious, man, because I went through the stats from the Department of Basic Education, man, and it's crazy, on how many Venda nationals are there on the statistic, man. And notice how I said Venda nationals.
I mean, I'm
It's a
like,
nation in
what
itself,
are you
man.
saying?
I mean, yes, we know that we associate Venda people with intelligence. Let us not lie.
Ow.
Yeah.
You and who?
Smart people there.
No, you and who?
Me and a lot of people in South Africa.
Okay.
Maybe it's only you or you. You understand? But I know that Venda people, man, they contribute a lot, man, especially on our
Are you saying this because
hospital.
Cyril Ramaphosa is vendor?
Yeah, boy. There's my answer there. There's my answer right there. There was Kana Kimang, this guy. I forgot, but he was part of the, parliamentary committee. He made good things, man. Good decisions that he made over the, digital department, you know, he played a huge role into this migration, right? So I was like, you know what, indaba remini vo digital izone digital imzansi izone digital Africa zonga, you know. So yeah, man, I hear you. I just mentioned, you know, vendor because I heard you mentioning Vienna.
No, Venice.
Venice,
ne?
Yeah, Venice, which is in Vienna.
Where is Vienna?
It's like Vienna in Italy, right? Yeah.
Okay. Nice, man. Travel, guys. Travel. It's a good thing. I mean, you know, with traveling, a lot of things come. As much as we're doing picture of the day, you know, and also making sure that people travel. And the question will be, how often do you travel? Because when you always feel like 5,000 is not enough for traveling. And it's some of the things that we need to speak about the budget of traveling. You will be shocked at how things are so cheap, you know, when you travel, because traveling is also seasonal. When you head to winter, you know, places that offer so much activities, now they are trying to grab as much people right now. Like they want people because, yes, I can't go to your, what do you call this one? I go Sun City. Waves, Valley of the Waves. Yeah, I can't go to Valley of the Waves and go swim. It's cold, man, you know. So I want to enjoy maybe the casino, the hotels, and other activities that are available right there. So you'll be shocked. And when you get there, even booking a hotel, man, 7 days or 6 days can be 1,150. Seriously. But hotels and airlines have very good offers, guys. Like very, very good.
But then, you know, I think a lot of people used to, the reason why some people maybe don't travel a lot this time, it's because back then, I get people used to do like your hitchhiking. That is basically the best way to actually save when it comes to travel costs.
That's most backpacking. That still happens.
Yeah, but then
it's places like Curiosity.
No, I get it different. But whenever I patala backpacking, you work original are you passing through Rodiport? Yeah, I wanna go somewhere there by Rodiport. Just drop me off close. It doesn't happen anymore.
No, that's some of the things that actually prevent people from traveling, because it's instilling fear, you know. And as other people, they will tell you, if I'm a traveler, whether that country has 91% of crime rate, I'm going to go there because I travel for a living. So it's a good thing that people should travel, and we have seen that also traveling improves the economy of the country, because when you move away from where you are and go improve, someone, you know, gets employed just because you went there and visited the place. So even when a job is created here, so that the information that you get is information that you're going to feed off from the place that you're going. So a lot of traveling. That's why Europe came with this idea of a Schengen visa. Make sure that people travel from country to country. If you don't have a Schengen visa in Europe, you can't travel from Poland to Norway to Sweden to, you know, Portugal, all of the European countries. But Schengen visa allows you to travel all of the European countries across, which is a very good thing that people should, you know, go out for and learn about. Yeah, boy. So with traveling, guys, come on, man. I mean, we know that for some of the people, it's all about the background. You know, my dad didn't travel. Why should I travel?
Yeah.
My grandfather did not travel. You know.
You know, when you talk about a visa, apparently now all African countries are visa free when it comes to Russia. So we can all go sip some vodka there with some Russian broski. So they will Vladimir Putin.
Hey, the next thing you get recruited to fight with Ukraine. I mean, you need to ask yourself some of the things, man. Why you just want people to come in your country? Yes, you understand. Yes, Russia is considered one of the biggest countries in the world.
But then I get it. That's why this whole thing of these people who are these refugees in South Africa. That's why, like, everyone is like, is this like a strategy of Trump trying to get farmers over there in order to boost
it is. It is in a way, because you also look at the fact that, let's be honest, man. wait till if you look at it properly, the economy of US when it comes to farming, it's also in decline. I mean, like, guys, it's like Trump is doing a whole lot of things. Right now, he's attacking a company that has nothing to do with the administration or the government of Trump, because they're still offering aid to countries that actually need them. And then it's like, hey, my guy, you know what? You're not going to do this. Trump is even going after Harvard, a whole Harvard.
Hey, man.
That basically came into being before they even had before the first president. If you look at the history of Harvard, Harvard was created way before the first president. Harvard is older than the US.
Man.
And then he's going like, hey, there's no longer going to be a tax exempt for you guys because you need to start paying tax, the order that, and they are standing on their ground. They're like, we not having none of that. And a lot of people are saying kudos to Harvard for standing up for their right and saying, yeah, baba, we produced a whole lot of things for this country and we are not letting you just basically ride on our backs and telling us what to do and not what to do.
Yeah, man. I mean, analysts, they're looking at how now America is trying to shoot themselves in the foot, because they are in the tariff war with China right now, in which also it's not playing good on their advantage. They're like, okay, no, we want people to consume things that we do, but a lot of things, man, that come from you, they say are made in China. So even with tractors right now, the reason that they're trying to bring, the farming is because we are in the fourth industrialization right now. So a lot of things being technologized. And when it comes to farming in the US, they are far, because now a tractor can drive itself, and doing its work right there on the ground. Because, there were guys, man, who were reviewing those tractors. Yo, man, I gotta tell you, it's millions and millions of dollars to buy that thing. So that's where they are, and trying to attract people from other countries. Yes, it's something that they're trying to do to restore, let's make America great again.
Yeah.
So it's a whole mandate of what they're doing right now with the Trump administration. But hey, man, every country has its own problems. So we also have our own problems. And speaking of problems, that's why we're going to have Osvaldo here, because some of us can't invest. And I think some of the things that we need to speak about with investment is how some of us learned, misinformed. We were misinformed about what is investment, because Pelarona, we grew up in those pyramid scheme. Faga 500 next week is going to be 250. And it was crazy, man, because we fell for that, in my fam, because my mom was like, you know what, I'm going to put 1.5 for you, 1.5 for you, 1.5. At the end of the month, Banabaka, we're going to have 45,000. We're like, wow, mama, this is the way to live. You are a genius, mom. You know that, but hey, man, a lot of people found themselves in these pyramid schemes, and a lot of monies were lost, man. Like even monies that were for the trust fund, someone had to go and take out the money from the bank, invested there for 5 years, 350,000 rand or maybe 1 million something, and give it to someone who promised them that I will turn that 1 million into 288 million.
Imagine.
But yeah, man, before we go to an ad and introduce Osvaldo right here, comments right there on YouTube. KT coming saying it's not very cold more. That time it was 10 to 8. Right now it's 21 minutes past 8. It's cold, bruh. Right now
my hands are freezing here.
It's 7 degrees right here. Maybe when you are in Europe, you'll never know. Right? And then Steven saying English is not our mother. I think you're referring to when you were doing your history lesson right there, ma'am. And then Lalisha saying hashtag Vooka Breakfast Show. Good morning, guys. Sivugile, happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday indeed it is. And a very good morning to you, Miss Nels. I hope you're going to be with us, because we're going to be having interesting conversation. And speaking of interesting conversation, Osvaldo is going to be here and speaking to a lot of people who want to get their finances right. Right? Hector coming in saying hashtag Vooka Breakfast Show, hashtag Sivugile. Guys, life is too short. We should appreciate it always. Hashtag morning, great show. Profound words from Hector. Thank you so much, man. That's why with the Vooka Breakfast Show, we always make sure, man, that we bring you those epic mornings right here because life is too short, man. And this show is also short.
Is it?
Yeah, man. But thank you so much for, being with us. So all you can do, man, is to use the hashtag Vooka Breakfast Show. Man, Tuesday mornings are always the best mornings because we choose ourselves and we choose, anyone that we want to choose. I choose a chartered flight that can take me to other countries. It's a nice thing that one can do. What are you choosing? I'm choosing, but yeah, hey, let us know what you're choosing. I'm talking too much.
We want to know because you got a lot of things to literally choose.
I'm wasting
for.
time, man, because Osvaldo needs to come here,
Yeah.
and speak to
Yes,
us,
guys. So
right?
let's head over for a quick break right there while we still prepare Osvaldo to come in for his interview, so he can let us know about how does one invest and what are the best investment options and how to calculate where your finances go in terms of investment. Now let's head over for a quick break, guys. We'll check you back right now.
Well, yeah, shopping blossom memory. Yes.
Wow. Vooka Breakfast Show.
We're out here in the heart of Soweto, Top Santon. This is right next to Zondi Hills, and just before you get to Broad Fisher Club. I'm out here. My name is Musi Mest. I'm out here with the one and only maximum temperature. I'm working with my man, TC Shabanana Wakamazibugo, and of course our station manager, the one and only Manene Lyric. And we're traveling out here, man. This is what we do on the Vooka Breakfast Show.
Yeah, you gotta get it fresh.
Bugile, we are fresh and nice. Now it's time to take the information to the people.
Of course, like Mo just mentioned, do stay tuned, comment, like, subscribe, share your thoughts and your opinions and everything else in between. We're going to be coming to a street to do live near you, wanting to know what your thoughts are out there on the street.
Of course, we've got TC Wamazibugo with the traffic update. Right now, we are going to N1 southbound to make sure that whatever that you guys get, it is real-time information.
Yes, sir.
So, looking at Mukhorosi, we have robots that are not working right here, but the traffic is moving. We're going to look at when is your rush hour time, when people are from the work, from school,
Yes,
right?
sir. Yes,
Gonna
sir.
give you your daily update. So do make sure that you stay with us. Mobile Vooka Breakfast Show.
Yes, sir. Hey family.
Hi.
My name is...
Hey family.
Hi.
My name is Tisiga Mazibugo Shabalala.
My name is Moketi Maimane.
My name is Musi Mest
My name is Ketua Mguni.
on the Vooka
Vooka Breakfast Show.
Every weekdays from 7 a.m.
to 10 a.m.
This is where we are going to have our topical discussion featuring various experts from different fields.
We're going to take care of you and it's going to be amazing, man. Right now I'm on the set of the Vooka Breakfast Show brought to you by the Blink-On Network.
Do not forget to subscribe.
That's Vooka Breakfast Show on Facebook and all other social media platforms.
Vooka.
See you there.
Escape the ordinary and discover the extraordinary with Swellapil Tours. Whether you're a group of friends or a family looking for a memorable getaway, Swellapil Tours has you covered. Our Our all-inclusive tours take you to South Africa's most stunning destinations, from the scenic beauty of Mpumalanga to the vibrant life of Gauteng and the coastal charm of Durban.
Vooka Breakfast Show.
We're out here in the heart of Soweto, Top Sandton. This is right next to Zondi Hills, and just before you get to Crown Fisher Club. I'm out here. My name is Musi Mest. I'm out here with the one and only maximum temperature. I'm working in my TC 7 on Vooka, and of course our station manager, the one and only Manele Lyric. And we're traveling out here, man. This is what we do on the Vooka Breakfast Show.
Yeah, you gotta get it fresh.
Boogie, we are fresh and nice. Now it's time to take the information to the people.
Of course, like Mo just mentioned, do stay tuned, comment, like, subscribe, share your thoughts and your opinions and everything else in between. We're going to be coming to a street to do live near you, wanting to know what your thoughts are out there on the street.
Of course, we've got TC Vooka with the traffic update. Right now, we are going to N1 southbound to make sure that whatever that you guys get, it is real-time information.
Yes,
so looking at Mukhorosi, we have robots that are not working right here, but the traffic is moving. We're going to look at when is your rush hour time, when people are from the work or from school.
Yes,
right?
sir. Yes,
Gonna
sir.
give you your daily update, so do make sure that you stay with us. Mobile Vooka Breakfast
Yes,
Show.
sir.
All right, 29 minutes past 8, heading to 8:30, and you're still watching the Vooka Breakfast Show. This is your energetic starter to the day. Of course, as promised, man, that we're going to be looking at your personal finance and investments. As I gave you my story, man, and shared with you that some of us, we lend investment through pyramid schemes. They told us, put 5 rand, and then Friday is going to be 25 rands. That I grew up knowing that it is the one way that you can invest and grow your money. We know that investment education is something that a lot of people have not been taught, especially in schools, man. You know, with your interest rates, how do I now combine everything and make it make sense to me? Are you telling me that if I'm going to put in 100 rand, next month is going to be 200 rands? How? Because I only put in 100 rands. It's some of the information and the education that we're going to be going through. So if you have any question, do make sure that you comment down below right there. We are live on YouTube and also live on Facebook. Use the hashtag Vooka Breakfast Show. Shortly right now, Mr. Osvaldo is going to be with us. He's here with us, of course. So we're still fixing those quick solutions that you can use in your daily life in terms of investment. So yes, I know you're asking yourself, what is investment and how much money can I invest in my daily life so that I can make sure that, you know what, I'm well prepared for the future. I'm well prepared for my family. You know, a lot of people have families and they want to invest their money and they don't know where to start. But here we are going to help you into starting and beginning the journey of investment right here on the Vooka Breakfast Show. If you want to call us in or send us your voice note, the number to do that is 060-493-3226. It's 060-493-3226. That's the number that you need to call us in and speak directly to Osvaldo and, you know, share your experience with him in terms of investments. You know, have you ever invested in your life? Have you ever been scammed in the name of investment? And what are the right procedures that you need to take? We know him. He has been here, motivated us, has taught us. He is back again with another education. Mr. Osvaldo, a very good morning to you. And how are you doing this morning, my good sir?
Good morning, Mo. I'm doing very well. Thank you so much, Master.
Yeah. Once again, thank you for taking your time to be here with us. Today, I think the information and the education that we need to give to people is some of the information that we grew up not understanding. And people have made a lot of mistake. They've lost monies and monies that were supposed to, take care of them for a long term.
Yes.
In which is investment, And as I have shared my story that I learned, and I was taught that investment is when you take 5 rand, give it to someone, and then on Friday it's going to come back as 25 rands. So can you please just take us through investment as a whole, and we're going to go through the demonstration later on just to show people, how this thing works.
Okay, so thank you so much for that. And what an experience you had. And I think you had a beautiful experience because then you can reference back and people can learn from it. So the basic principle about investing is just to understand how money works. So basically, what I would term investment is creating a future value of money or increasing your purchase power in the future. So in other words, you're taking that 5 rand and saying, okay, with this 5 rand, I am going to grow it so that it gives me a purchasing power at some point in the future. So you're converting the 5 rand into the 25 rand. That's now investing. Whereas when you look at debt or loan, that is taking a future value and using it now. So you're decreasing the future value of your current money into the future. Now, what you do with that money is totally up to you. Some people use it wisely. They would take debt and they would go into such things as property in hopes that they can convert that debt into a future income. So you're using debt in a smart way. So that's how you use debt. In other words, yeah.
Oh. So the money that you put in there, so maybe monthly it accumulates. So you can take some of that money, you can borrow from that money, and it's going to kind of pay itself back.
Yes. So initially, what you're doing is you're creating a future value of money. So but remember that every time you withdraw or take out, you're robbing the power of a future purchase. So in other words, if for instance you then say, okay, I'm going to take 100 rand, go put it into a simple thing like maybe a bank account, which is a savings account that gives me like 8% return, and I'm going to leave it there for the next 10 years. If you withdraw before the 10 years is up, you're robbing the future value of that money. So that's the simplest way to understand investing and how investing works. Yes.
Yeah. So now let's get into the type of investments that are available out there for someone to understand before they get themselves into it.
Yes. So there's a number of different investments. There's the lowest level, which is the easiest to understand, but also the most profound, is something which is called a savings account. Now, a savings account is the most basic fundamental of wealth building. It's the first step, and most people take it for granted. Here's how it works: is you take money, you put it into a bank. The bank then promises that they're going to give you that 8%, 6%, whatever the percent is, every single month. Return on that. That means if you put 100 rand and the return is 10%, what is 10% of 100 rand? It's what? 10% of 100 should be, I think, 10 rand?
10 rand, yeah.
Right? So that means the bank is telling you that for this month, we're going to pay you 10% of 100. So let's take, for instance, this in the month of May, you're going to, month end, you're going to have 110 rand in your bank account. Then the next month, on your 110 rand, the bank is saying, you keep it with us, we're going to give you 10% of 110 rand, which is then 10% of that should be, I think, what is it, 11 rand or what?
Yeah.
So that is then what the bank is telling you they're going to give you. It's the most safest and the most securest, although it will give you the least return on it.
Yeah.
Because it's got the highest guarantee.
Yeah.
So the higher the guarantee, the lower the return you're going to get. But it's the safest. And what it does to you psychologically is that it teaches you, one, how to have patience for the long term. And also, two, it also teaches you how money and investments actually work. That once you leave it to grow, it will grow a life of its own. It's making its own children, giving birth to its own children. The more you leave it there. Then you have a step up from that, which is then comes to your unit trust, your ETFs, your index funds. these now are a bit riskier, but they are the most secure in terms of your investment journey when you're just starting off from your savings going to investment journey. And how these work is just, it's like a bundle of shares that are put into different things such as ETFs. The best way to explain is this is, do you know anything about soccer? Do you watch soccer? Do you support soccer? Do you know soccer players or anything like that? You don't, right?
I do watch soccer, but I just don't know a whole lot. Here's our soccer expert over
Right,
there.
so you're the soccer expert, right?
Yes,
so
sir.
your expertise in soccer is different from hers.
Yeah.
But then here's how ETFs work. Is if I came to you and I asked you, which are the teams that are going to stay in the PSL this year, would you be able to more or less be able to predict it?
Less, I wouldn't be able to predict.
But if I gave you the old teams, if I asked you and I came and told you, will Chiefs be relegated this season? What would your answer be? Would they be kicked out of the PSL? What would your answer be?
No.
They won't, right?
No, they won't.
Right.
They've been around for such a long time, even without winning a trophy until the Saturday, but now they won't.
But they're going to be in the PSL,
Yeah.
right? So that's how ETFs are. ETFs are sort of like yours, you know which are the top 10 teams, right? So what ETFs do is they are bundles. For instance, if we take the JSE top 40, that is a bundle of the top 40 performing companies in South Africa. So what you're doing is when you put your 100 Rand, that 100 Rand is being diversified into the 40 top performing companies. So the moment one of those companies is not a top performer, it gets kicked out of the list, then a new one comes in. So that's what it's tracking. So there's certainty in that. Versus now, when you go into a higher level, now you're going to like investments such as your blue chips. Now you're making individual evaluations on companies. Now you're saying, okay, if I have 100 Rand, where can I put this 100 Rand where the highest return can be? And then you're looking at blue chip companies, you're looking at companies that have been around for so long. Typically, these, again, will be in your JC top 40, and then you say, okay, on this JC top 40, which markets do I believe would have the highest return? You're like, okay, I think banking will have the highest return because of certain factors. Now you're delving deeper, and now you put your money into there. Now you're picking who's going to win the PSL. You see, now I can come to you and ask you, who's more likely to win the PSL? Who would you say that is? Sundowns. You can say that with certainty because your level of expertise is higher than hers.
Yeah.
And this is, again, how the investment journey goes. The better you get with certainty, the more you can put your money into things that are certain that you know.
Yeah.
Then you go on to the highest level, then that's when now you start speculating. When you start speculating, now you're looking at things such as your IPOs. IPOs are companies that are just being listed. And then you're looking at things such as your Forex, your cryptocurrencies. These are stuff that have the highest volatilities, but have also the highest returns. Now, it's a different ball game because you can make money quickly and you can lose money quickly at the same time. So the higher up you go, the more you can lose your money, but also the more you can make your money. But it's very volatile. That's why I always say, before you get to do those things, because now, if you speculate with 10,000 Rand, and 10,000 Rand is all you have, and you lose that money, you're more likely to commit suicide. But suppose 10,000 Rand is only 10% of your total net worth, and you lose it, you're not going to commit suicide because then you're going to fall back on your 90,000 Rand. So the higher you go in those levels, if you have those other foundations properly built, then you'll be able to play around in those things, should I say.
Nice. Because I think you've touched on what I wanted to ask, which is guarantee and the risks, of going into investing. But now what I want to speak about is me as the investor. you know, and someone who is watching, because they're like, do I have to have a company, you know, to invest in those, you know, top listing on, you know, the JSE? Do I have to be a regular citizen on a working class, you know, or it's just can be someone from the street who's like, okay, let me just go look, you know, what is happening on the listing of the JSE so that I can invest, you know, on the ones, the companies that I can trust. Or, you know, you have to have knowledge before going into this.
You don't have to have 100% knowledge. You don't have to. So I always say, start with what you know and let what you know grow, right? So the marvelous thing and the great thing about living in South Africa is that we've got apps that allow you to invest from as little as R5 going upwards that are available, right? I mean, one of the platforms that I could love to share is, I know Standard Bank has got Shift, and then there's something which is called Easy Equities. Right, Easy Equities. I'm a big fan of it. So if you go into Easy Equities, you'll find different ranges of shares that you can start investing in. You can even start investing into properties, right, and not have the burden of taking out a loan to own a property, which is something which is called REITs. So with REITs, it works the same way as a what do we call it? A stokvel. You know how a stokvel works. How does a stokvel work?
Also, it's like a property stokvel, because I remember there was once a thing where property stokvels trended and people could just like literally come together, contribute money on a monthly basis, so it goes towards buying a certain property that will fall under the club's name.
Yes, 100%. So on the Easy Equities app, there's the REITs section of it where you could literally, for instance, I know that there's a new IPO that listed in Cape Town recently. So the building is going for 10 million. So they're looking for investors to go into that 10 million. So how it works is, for every R1 that you put in there, they converted that then into a share. Then if that thing gets purchased, your dividend payout is in terms of rental income. So you get paid every 4 months on the number of shares that you do have. So suppose you just buy one share for R1 and the total rental is, I don't know how much it is. You'll get the value of the share that you put in there. Now you're learning, oh, this is how property investment works. You don't have to take care of the building, don't have to take care of nothing. You can carry on doing the things that you love doing. If you're a working person, you carry on working, but a portion of what you're working for is invested somewhere and it's growing and you're learning. So REITs is, again, the return is lower, but it's less riskier, less effort than what it takes for you to go to a bank, take out a loan, buy a property, manage a property, look for a tenant, although your return is higher when you do that. So with the REITs, that's how then it works with that. So any ordinary South African can start investing from today. You just need R5 or
Interesting.
Now that's very interesting. So I have a comment out here on YouTube from Hector Takalani, and he's saying #investment. How does one know that the investor is legit? Are there ways or signs that one can know or be familiar with so that we don't get scammed?
That's a great question. My first question then is, why are you investing with someone else?
I think it's probably because, as like you said, some people don't know about Easy Equity or Shift from Standard Bank. So the only thing we know so far about investing is that sometimes you need to find an investor who's well knowledgeable, who knows that where exactly to put your money's worth at. So I think that's where the problem comes in with most people. Instead, because you don't know about such apps that actually exist in South Africa, would rather go find an investor and then have that person invest money for us so that it could grow and accumulate profit.
I'm a bit of a self-educating. I love to push self-education, whereas you have to learn how things work before you give your money to somebody else. So if I always give it out as a warning. If someone comes and tells you, "Give me your money now, and I'll return a lot of money for you," that's a first sign of, but where's my money going? Ask the person, where's my money going? Ask them that first question is, where is my money going? If they tell you your money is going to X and X, then you need to find out, okay, go into Google, find out, okay, what is this investment that he's talking about?
Yeah.
What makes this up? What drives, what makes this thing go up? How does this thing work? What type of investment is it going into? Give me a portfolio of evidence of the stuff that you've invested into.
Yeah.
Ask them those questions, and perhaps maybe even ask them what's the investor number, because you have to be accredited for such things.
Yeah.
You have to then understand, okay, if someone is telling me I must give them 5,000 rand and it's going to come back in as 15,000 rand.
Yeah.
Where is this money going?
Yeah.
What is it actually buying that can give me that such a return? Because if you're telling me with my 5,000, you can return 15,000 rand within 5 days, why is your money not in that? Why are you coming to me for that money? Because obviously you would then go put your own money in it and make the highest return. You won't be wasting your time trying to get people to give you money to get that return. It's critical to educate yourself first of all, and actually see the average. What does the average investment return? Like, remember we spoke about the highest level is now when you speculate on forex, cryptocurrency, and all these things. What's the average return on that?
Yeah.
Show me how much you've won and how much you've lost. And let's track it to see, oh, okay, this is a credible person who loses money and makes money. So that's the first question to ask is, where's my money going?
Yeah. I hope that answers, the question of Mr. Hector, because a lot of people are skeptical, with investment. It's all about how it's introduced to them. I remember this guy, made a simple example. It was like, with investment, it's as easy as going or someone approaching you, the guy who gambles on the street, plays dice. It's like, give me that 10 rand, I'm going to go play. And then when I win, you're going to get your money back and I'm going to get my share. So is that how we define investing, as like, when I give my money to this company, then they're going to do something with it, and whether there are returns or not, they're going to tell you that no, your money's gone and there's nothing we can do.
That's when you invest through an entity, but there's different there's different levels of people who can do that. So the most professional people that can do that do not allow you to go into that investment fund unless you're on a certain income bracket. So, for instance, there's a gentleman, his name is Ray Dalio. He runs the biggest hedge fund in the world, worth billions and billions and billions. So in his hedge fund, you're not allowed to invest with him unless you have a certain net worth. The reason for that is because, one, if you don't have the necessary monies to withstand the ups and downs of the market, you're going to want to withdraw your money.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So you have to have a certain net worth, and you need to have access to certain amounts of money before you can invest with them.
Yeah.
So if someone just comes and says, no, just give me 5,000 rand, I will go, I'll gamble it. If I win, I give you something. If I don't win, I don't give you anything.
Yeah.
Then that's not a professional person to invest with, because that person would only allow certain people to invest with them. I'll tell them, listen, this is the fund in which I'm saying, unless you have a net worth of 10 million, I can't take 100,000 from you, because you wouldn't be able to survive the turmoil of that.
Yeah.
So it's not as easy as just saying, no, that's what I'm going to do, and that's how it works. Yes, for your retirement fund, there's people like Alexandra Forbes who are professionally trained to go and invest in your behalf. Then they take a certain commission from that. So they'll charge you fees for doing that.
Yeah.
But just someone coming in and say, no, it's just a gamble, that's not someone that understands what's going on.
Yeah. And we know, man, that the core premise of investing is to grow one's money, right? And we have families and individuals. So is there a difference, or there are types of investment that families can go into compared to an individual going into an investment?
So now, what are we talking about? Are we talking about stock investments, or are we talking about just regular family investing into a business, investing into something that they can do? What are we talking about the investment types that we're doing.
So let's give it a rundown between ETFs,
Right.
government bonds, and unit trusts. When it comes for a family, how can they basically invest into going into either one of the three, and what's the difference between all three of them?
Okay, so what you can do if you're investing in behalf of a family, you could literally even start a family bank, or you could start a family a business, investment business, where you can then register the business and say, okay, guys, listen, here's a registered business. Here's a registered, we'll call it, perhaps let's call it Afriberry Investments, but it's for investments of our family. And you guys can put in, let's say, 2,000 Rand each, and with that 2,000 Rand, then you can allocate those funds to those investments. You can then say, okay, this is what we're buying as a family. We're buying these REITs, these ETFs, and this is how much is going into it. So you're accumulating that money from the family and buying more of those shares. So you're buying those, maybe those government bonds, where government bonds, you're borrowing money to the government, and the government is making use of your money. And for that, the government is then saying, okay, every 6 months, we're going to pay you 10% for the money that you borrowed us. So that's how the return is. So that's one thing that you can do. So essentially, you're collecting money from a lot of people and structuring it in such a way that you're investing it somewhere into something.
Okay, so yes, would you also mind explaining what exactly is a government bond, unit trust, and an ETF?
Right. So a government bond
in
is
simple
English, right? So the government, simple English, right, is the government needs money to perhaps build roads, do certain things within the economy that is good for the people. So there's different ways in which the government can go about doing that. One of the ways is to perhaps borrow money, which they have to pay back in interest. So the other way is to actually sell government bonds, where you, as the ordinary citizen, say, okay, I'm looking at the South African government. They've got certain policies in place. I see that they're going to be developing the country, going in a certain way. Then you say, okay, let me go to the post office, or perhaps now that there's less post office, you just go online and you just click and find out, how do I buy government bonds? Then you're saying, okay, the government, yes, 10,000 Rand. And the government says, okay, if you're going to give us this money, keep it with us for 5 years, we're going to pay you this certain percentage return on your money. And before the end date or the maturity date, where you can get back your 5,000 Rand. So essentially what you're doing with the government bonds is, for as long as you have it there, every 6 months you're collecting that 10% for 5 years. And then after 5 years, you get your 5,000 Rand back on that maturity date. So that's what you're doing. You're borrowing the government money and they are paying it back. That's why sometimes government tend to raise taxes to be able to pay back investors. So now you see, now you're now playing on the other spectrum. Now you're not complaining about taxes going up. You're rejoicing with the fact that taxes are going up. Right? So that's how the government bonds also work. You also sometimes get something which is then called corporate bonds. With corporate bonds, sometimes companies go into a lot of debt. And so to facilitate that debt, what they do is they then sell those corporate bonds to say, okay, because we're in such debt, you can buy shares of the company, and we're going to promise you that we're going to pay you back every 6 months or maybe once a year. And that's then how it then happens. You're now borrowing money to businesses. Now that's more riskier, because now if they default, the business can go bankrupt and there's no ways that you can recoup your money. So that's how those work. Now with unit trusts and ETFs, again, what you're doing is you're hedging, or you're hedging against those downfalls, because you're now saying, okay, in an ETF, again, there's a packet of shares that are inside it. Just like when you go grocery shopping, you don't just buy one flavor of Koo. You buy different types of flavors, so that in the 5 days you're eating different types of flavors of beans, right? So what you're then saying is you're hedging, you're your bets. You're creating a safe to say, okay, I'm more guaranteed that these companies will perform in these different industries than I am going and selecting to say, okay, this is the one that's going to outperform everything. It's not to say that you're not able to do it. You're able to do it if you build up the skills and your know-how. Remember, we spoke about self-knowledge.
Yeah.
The more you educate yourself, the more you know, the more you're able to then say, okay, this is how this works.
Yeah.
Now I can put my money here with certainty that I'm going to get a specific return back on that.
Yeah.
Interesting. I don't know if that answers your question.
Yeah, it did. Hey, it's very interesting here because I was even about to ask Uti, so Vele, what's the difference between investing in property and literally just buying up shares on the market? Because I think is it safe to say that buying up shares is also a good way of investing? But then I think the risky part about buying up shares is knowing the correct company to invest in. So when it comes to investing in a company and buying the shares, how do you know which one is actually worth your money and which one will probably not even give you a good return on investment?
That's a great question because now you're now at the third level of like, okay, now I'm calculating, I'm looking for. You want to buy shares in Pick and Pay, but if you look at, you see, and this is now where understanding business comes in.
Yeah.
Where the more you understand business and how businesses work, the more you're able to invest, and so it's a cycle. It feeds off each other. So if you look at, for example, for Pick and Pay, if you just Google right now, Pick and Pay share price, look at it right now, right? You would then say, okay, Pick and Pay at the moment is trading at, I think it went down significantly.
Yeah, because I remember sometime early this year,
Pick
they
and
were
Pay.
like closing out down 32
Share
stores.
price.
Yeah.
They
Pick and
closed
Pay
down
share.
like 32 stores that they had.
Yes.
So yeah, it's currently
down. So what you then got to understand, study people like Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett says that if you understand business, if you understand how a business works, then you'll be able to make great investments. So what he does is, you look at, remember when they taught you accounting in primary school, in high school, right? Remember that those three ledgers, the income statement, the balance sheet, and then the cash flow statement. If you're able to master those three things, then you'll be able to know the economics of a business, what it's doing financially. So if you look at Pick and Pay, one of the reasons why it's shutting down a lot.
Mo just found it right now.
Yeah, it's how much is that? So convert that into cents. Is that R2.77?
No, I think that's like 2,779.
No, so
There's a comma there.
yeah, so you have to convert that into, so those are cents,
Use
Yeah.
our
right?
calculator.
Yeah, so those are cents. So how share prices work is,
Yeah.
oh, we can actually Google it. Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you have to convert that in, so those are cents. So you have to convert those cents into rand. So I think you divide it by 100 or something like that. So that 2,779, that's quoted in cents. So that's about, I think, how much is that? Current share price of Pick and Pay. 27 rand, 0.79 cents. So that's how much one share is at Pick and Pay. So the ordinary person would look at that and then say, okay, this is how much the share price is. So when I buy it, I'm waiting for it to do what? To go above 27 rand, 79 cents.
Yeah.
So now what you're doing is you're investing for growth. Then you're like, oh, okay, the moment it goes to 50 rand, then I'm going to sell, and that's where I make my profit. But someone who's investing again for dividends and that return, remember the savings principle? You put your money away, and then you get paid every single month. Now, someone who's coming in and saying, okay, if I put money in here, how much dividends am I going to get paid back? That means every single year, once a year, they're going to pay me dividends as a reward for having invested with them.
Yeah.
So you're going to delve deeper into here. And then what you're then going to say is, okay, you're going to then go in and do now your proper due diligence. If you go down there, there's something there which is on MoneyWeb. It will give you more information when you're now doing your research that has to do with Pick and Pay. Another website you can make use of is called yahoo.com. In yahoo.com, when we go into the website, Yahoo finance, or there's also something which is called MSN Money.
Yeah.
I love using MSN Money because not only are you able to do your research there, you're able also to actually understand the metrics behind it. So I'm just going to ask you just to go into MSN Money. Let's go into MSN Money so you can just better understand what's going on. I hope I'm not taking too much time here.
No.
So go to MSN Money.
Okay.
Stock market quotes, business economics, and that's what you then would see there.
Yeah. So, yeah, there we go. We have on the bar there money, my watch list, markets, expect portfolios, cryptocurrencies, headlines, and watch.
So if you just go down, just under personal finance, it's got their search stocks, ETFs, and more. Do you see it there?
When I scroll down.
No, under personal finance.
You see where it says personal finance?
Under it, there's a search bar there.
There's a search bar there.
Okay. Am I in the right web?
Yeah, MSN Money.
MSN Money, search stocks.
Yes, right there.
Yeah.
So when you go there, just type in the Pick and Pay, and then it's going to show you the Pick and Pay Johannesburg, and then it shows you the share price and everything, right?
Yeah.
So most people will just look at the ups and downs of this thing. Can you see it here, Afriberry?
Yeah, I can. Okay, let me just
where
see
it's
this.
in red. Yeah.
So
Oh,
people
that's
can
actually smart.
see. Yeah, I zoomed in, and I hope everybody has like a much more clear way of seeing.
Right. So most people tell you, okay, this is how much the share price is. This is what's going on with it, and we'll buy it in hopes that it will go up, and then we'll sell it, and then make a profit off it, and then that's what we then do. But if you see it there, if you delve deeper, you'll see there on the right-hand side, it shows you earnings per share, it shows you the PE ratio, it shows forward dividend, it shows you all that stuff, and it also shows you the market cap. Now you're starting to do your due diligence. It tells you that the market cap here is about 20.72 billion. So that's their market cap. Then the shares outstanding is 745.66 million. So that means this is how much of the shares that they're selling to the public, which the public can then go and invest in it. When you start doing your due diligence, when you start comparing different metrics, there's there which it says the financials. So under the financials, then it speaks to, remember the thing that we spoke about that they taught us in school about the banking, not the banking, in accounting, about the three, the income statement, balance sheet, and cash flow. So when you go into the income statement, the balance sheet, and the cash flow, that's going to tell you what's happening economically with the business. Right? So this is now going to tell you, if you, for example, go into operating cash flow, it tells you that 2024, the operating cash flow was lower than in 2023, 2022, 2021, 2020, and in 2019, the operating cash flow was very, very low.
Yeah.
So that then gives you the history of what's happening with the operating cash flow. What does the operating cash flow mean? If you just go over the eye, it tells you that is the cash generated by the company's business operations. So that means Pick and Pay is generating less and less and less money per year. So that's why a lot of their stores are closing. So you, who's got no investment history, no investment high accolade, what does that tell you as an ordinary person?
For me, it tells me that investing in it will basically be at a risk.
Right.
Because at this moment, they're closing down stores. And in terms of their yearly return, it's also going down. So basically, invest at your own risk.
So that tells you that. So that gives you that information. And we just spent 5 minutes going over it. Now, do you see how your investing is just common sense?
Yeah.
Right. So a lot of it, if you follow a lot of Peter Lynch's teachings, he'll tell you that the ordinary person is got the acumen to make investments, because you as the ordinary person, you're the one who shops every single day. You're the person who doesn't have the stress of, listen, guys, you have to perform as you're making these investments, because you got a broader view of the market. Now, if you just use common sense to understand how certain things work, you're able to invest on your own. You just literally did an investment calculation, or you just went through an investment process by studying this, by saying, okay, Pick n Pay is using a lot of money, the operating cash flow is going down. That means it's riskier to invest into Pick n Pay.
Yeah.
And what's nice about this is that you can actually go in and compare. So once you click on the compare, it will give you the same some companies that are within. How do I use this thing? Technology sometimes. On the screen. So you see there on. Oh, okay. Now I see. So you see ShopriteHoldings, Boxer Retail. It gives you the share price and it tells you how they're performing in terms of their stocks. Right? Then it tells you the different ones, and it tells you that the highest at the moment is ShopRite Holdings. So when we look at ShopRite, we're like, hey, I'll never shop at ShopRite, that yellow what, right? But from a business point of view, they have a bigger footprint around Africa.
Yeah.
Now you're starting to see things differently. Now you're starting to see that, okay, yes, ShopRite looks like it's this ugly, what, but from an investment point of view, I'm more likely to make money. They're running their business much better than they're doing with Pick n Pay and probably Boxer.
Yeah.
You see, now you're starting to see things differently now.
And a lot of people actually think that Boxer will be making a whole lot more money because people are like starting to flood in over to their stores in terms of the specials they have to offer, because apparently they're like much more affordable than Pick n Pay and ShopRite.
Right.
Yeah. So now I just want us to do a demonstration with the people at home. So we can go to the investment calculator, and just, show us how to use it, when to use it, and why would you use the investment calculator?
Oh, yes. What I love about the investment calculator is that you're able to calculate what your return would be if you had to put your money somewhere, given a certain return, a percentage return.
Yeah.
So for the example of your 5 Rand into 25 Rand, right? What's the percentage return on there? What you can do, you can use something which is called the law of 72. So with the law of 72, take your 72 divided by 5. That will then give you the percentage return that you would that it needs. So take 72 divided by 5. What does it give you?
72 divided by 5.
Yeah.
Okay.
It gives me 14.4.
So it gives you 14.4%.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. So that's the percentage that you would get if you had to invest in something that would give you that 5% return. Now take 72 divided by 25. That's the 2.88%, right? So essentially that's the percentage that you would need to get that. So with that, it gives you the percentage return that it will take for you to get that there. So now take the 25 divided by 72, right? What does it give you? If you take 25 divided by 72.
Okay, let's see. 25.
Divide by 72.
Right. It gives you that 0.347222%. Right? So now that's the return, the percentage return on that. So if you look at this here, it will actually help you. Suppose we have a starting amount. How much do you have to spare in total?
Like a starting amount?
Yeah, any amount.
100,000.
You've got?
100,000.
So you've got 100,000, right?
Yeah.
Right. And then how many years are you putting into this investment?
25 years.
So 25 years, right? And then what's the return rate on this investment? What type of investment is it? Is it savings? Is it a cash deposit? What type of investment is it? Is it a savings plan? What is it?
A savings plan.
It's a savings plan. And what's the percentage return that it's giving you?
3%.
3%.
3% per annum.
Okay, so this is the
Return rate.
cool thing about using technology and where we are.
Yeah.
We've got Google, right? So with Google, it's all about saying, okay, what's the highest savings interest that I can gain and with which bank. Right, so we can do that and go that with Google. So let's just Google that, and tell me where you find it.
Yeah, no, so like right now you guys can do it because what I'm showing there, it's what's there.
Right, okay, so on Google, just please type in, okay, South African investment, the highest return on savings.
Yeah. Just to get, that education right there, because one would just put in monies without understanding the,
savings,
return rates and things like that. Oh, 8%.
Right. So it tells us Cash Invest Tracker about 8%. That's the average, right? So on there we're going to put the 8%. Compounded annually. Now, are you making any additional contributions per month? Are you saying, okay,
adding on that amount?
Adding on that amount. Are you saying, okay, I've got an extra 200 rand, 5,000 rand, or what? How much are we making?
1,500.
1.5, right? And then 1.5, and then we're calculating it towards the end. Okay. How much of each month? And then you just click on calculate, and then it gives you a total breakdown.
Wow.
That you're able to even download it and have it there. So your end balance.
Oh, nice.
What is the end balance that you get there?
Nice. So on year one, it's 126,650.
Right.
Yeah.
83 cents.
And 83 cents.
In 83 cents.
Yeah.
Right.
Because I'm looking at 25 years.
Right. And then after 25 years, how much do you have?
2,048,333.96 cents.
And that's just you leaving your money there, not doing anything
with it.
extra.
Yeah.
You're still running your business. You're still having your girlfriends.
Yeah.
You're still grooving. You're still looking after your passions. You're still arguing. You're still having a nice time. But your money is just sitting there. And that's on that 8%. It's just sitting there.
Yeah.
Now, suppose you're a person that maybe has every year has emergencies or loves to do certain things. That means every single year you can withdraw 26,650 and go do something with it in December.
Oh, and leave the initial investment, which is the 100,000.
Exactly. So that's why I'm saying that's the power of saving. It's guaranteed, it's simple, and a lot of people say, no, it won't make me wealthy, it won't make me rich.
Yeah.
But there's a psychological jump when your money is in here compared to the higher levels. That's why I always say, if you master the first level and understanding this breakdown, that, so this is how it works in terms of me leaving my money there and letting it grow.
Yeah.
So this is now compounded interest that's busy growing.
Yeah.
So that's how you'd be able to calculate that simple thing. Yeah.
Very interesting.
Hey, very interesting. Hey, so I have two questions from our YouTube viewers. Another one from Hector Takalani is saying, are there any shortfalls when you invest, and what are the shortfalls? And then the second question comes in from Steven Stevens. So is it the same as index investment in Forex?
No, it's not the same. Forex is a completely different beast compared to index fund. Index fund, the rate at which it changes is different from how you do it in Forex. The way you can take advantage of Forex, I think for me, long term, right, is, again, I'm going to go back to the banking app, which is then called Shift, which allows you to keep foreign currency wallets. So for instance, let's suppose that the dollar is trading at 16 rand, and you know that the dollar normally trades at like 18, 19 rand.
Yeah.
What you can do is you can convert your rands into dollars and keep it in that wallet until such a time that it goes back to the 19 rand and stuff, right? So that's one side of it. Now, when you're trading Forex, you're trading against the rate at which it changes like minute to minute. If we go in now, you'll see that it's busy. It's going up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. I don't have the emotional acumen to sit and look at that. It'll drive me crazy, right?
Yeah.
But I'm not saying that there's not people who are able to do that. What I'm saying is, from a psychological point of view, from a wealth building point of view, I don't have the emotional acumen to look at that, right? But I've got the emotional acumen to say, okay, if I put 100,000, let it grow, let it do whatever it's doing. I'm not taking, I'm not getting headaches as to what's going on in the economy, whether this goes up, whether this goes down, whether Trump says this or whether Trump says X. It's not affecting my money. It's just growing. That's how I'm looking at investing. Now, speculation is now what? Forex. Now you're saying, okay, Trump said he's increasing tariffs. That means the impact on the dollar is that the dollar will go down today. How much is it going to go down by? Okay, I'm speculating that it's going to go down by 10%. Okay, so that means my sell-buy rate is at this point. I'm going to put my money at this point and then wait for it to decline at this point and then I'm going to go out. Okay, what if that doesn't happen, then it goes up? Now, it's a different ballgame. What I'm saying is, I'm not saying you can't make money from it. I'm just saying that psychologically is different from the other levels. It's a different skill set and how you see it. What you're looking at is, again, you're looking to buy at 20, you're looking to buy the Pick and Pay share at 27 Rand and waiting for it to either go up or for it to go down. You're either short selling or you're then saying, when I buy it at 27 Rand, I'm going to wait until it goes to 30 Rand and make my profits off that. It's a different way of looking at it. Whereas long term, you're saying, let me investigate and see from a business point of view, does it make sense for me to invest in what? In Pick and Pay. It's a different ball game. I'm not saying you can't make money off it. I'm just saying that it's different. So that's where the difference would be. And what was the other question?
So the other question was asking about the shortfalls that you'd find when investing.
Yeah, there's a lot of shortfalls. One of the shortfalls, I mean, I had a period where the stuff I invested in, when I went in and I looked at it, it was on red. The total portfolio worth was on red. So the shortfall of that is that your investment portfolio worth could look down. It could be on the red. It could look like the share price of your portfolio is actually down. But if you understand in what you invested in, then you'll know that you can keep certain things, and you would understand that, okay, if it's still paying me dividends, I can keep it. And the other shortfall is that your dividend payments could actually be less. So one of the things is you could have a company that's had a good year. They could be paying you great dividends this year, and then next year they could have a very bad year and your dividends could go down. Those are some of the shortfalls that you could look out for. It's not to say that it always works out. No, it will never always work out. It's like a relationship. A relationship is not always good, it's not always happy. But if you understand the relationship that you're in, you're going to know, okay, in the long run, this is what it's going to give me. So watch out for those shortfalls that the share price can go down. I mean, if you look at the US stock market right now, it's actually down. But there's also an opportunity there. It means that you can buy more stocks for less money. So those are some of the shortfalls. And just because it's going up doesn't mean that it's necessarily good. Because it could go up because we over-speculating and the true worth of that company is not what it's selling for. So those are some of the shortfalls that you can look out for.
No, Mr. Osvaldo. I mean, one would say I came into the class not knowing anything and I've gained so much knowledge, and there's so much to unpack, but that time is not on our side. But thank you so much for that insightful information. As I'm here right now, I'm just like, there's so much to digest right now. I just need a 2-liter of bottle of water just to let that sink in, but for someone who's watching, in conclusion, last words, and what is it that you would like to give people, and advise in terms of investment?
For me, my intake is just educate yourself on how these things work. Study the guys such as Warren Buffett, your Peter Lynch, you study how ETFs work, how that was started and why that was started. So your self-education is the key. The more you understand and the more you know, the better able you are to make financial decisions.
Yeah, that's a lot. Hey, I feel like we just need another time so we can actually go more into different investment options that people have and fully debunk what investing is. Because I feel like you still had a lot more to say, but unfortunately, time was not on our side. But we'll definitely discuss having another day where we actually go dive deeper into investing. Hey, yeah, I think the best investment to make right now is probably Tesla, because I heard they're busy firing Elon Musk there. They're kicking him out of the company. So Tesla, here I come.
But thank you so much for your time, and we hope that you come back again, just to share more insight again, on the finance world, on what people should look out for, just to make those good decisions when it comes to their own personal finances.
Right. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah.
Such a pleasure. Really honored. Thank you.
That was Osvaldo right here on personal finance. I hope that you guys learned a lot. And if you still have questions that you want to give to him, all you need to do is to text or send your text on the number 0604933226. 0604933226. 22 minutes past 9. It is the time right now. Let us take a short break, and then when we come back, we are going to be joined by Nessa Mohoni right here on the Vooka Breakfast Show. So you do not want to miss that conversation. So do not go anywhere.
Musi Mist.
My name is Moketi Maimane.
Catch us every weekday morning, Monday to Friday between 7 and 10.
Right here on the Vooka Breakfast Show, brought to you by the Blinko Network.
Always bringing you the best content possible.
Vooka Nati, wake up with us and kickstart your day on a great note.
This is your energetic start to the day.
Escape the ordinary and discover the extraordinary with Swellapil Tours. Whether you're a group of friends or a family looking for a memorable getaway, Swellapil Tours has you covered. Our all-inclusive tours take you to South Africa's most stunning destinations, from the scenic beauty of Mpumalanga to the vibrant life of Gauteng and the coastal charm of Durban.
Hey family.
Hi.
My name is Tisiga Mazbugo Shabalala.
My name is Moketi Maimane.
My name is Musi Mist.
My name is Ketsuake Mnguni
On the Vooka
Vooka Breakfast Show.
Every weekdays from 7 a.m.
to 10 a.m.
This is where we are going to have our topical discussion featuring various experts from different fields.
We're going to take care of you, and it's going to be amazing, man. Right now, I'm on the set of the Vooka Breakfast Show, brought to you by the Blinko Network.
Do not forget to subscribe.
That's Vooka Breakfast Show on Facebook and all other social media platforms.
Vooka.
See you there.
Vooka Breakfast Show.
We're out here in the heart of Soweto, Top Santon. This is right next to Zondi Hills, and just before you get to Crown Fisher Club. I'm out here. My name is Musi Mist. I'm out here with the one and only maximum temperature. I'm working my TC Shabalala Wakamazibugo, and of course our station manager, the one and only Manele Lyric. And we're traveling out here, man. This is what we do on the Vooka Breakfast Show.
Yeah, you gotta get it fresh.
We are fresh and nice. Now it's time to take the information to the people.
Of course, like Mo just mentioned, do stay tuned, comment, like, subscribe, share your thoughts and your opinions and everything else in between. We're going to be coming to a street to do live near you, wanting to know what your thoughts are out there on the street.
First, we've got TC Owamazibugo with the traffic update. Right now, we are going to N1 southbound to make sure that whatever that you guys get, it is real-time information.
Yes,
so looking at Mukhorosi, we have robots that are not working right here, but the traffic is moving. We're going to look at when is your rush hour time, when people are from the work or from school,
yes,
right?
Sir. Yes,
I'm gonna give you your daily update, so do make sure that you stay with us. Mobile Vooka Breakfast Show.
Yes,
Well, yeah, shopping floors maybe. Yes.
Wow. Hey family.
Alright,
Hi,
27
my name is
minutes,
Tisiga Mazibuko
past
Shabala.
9. It is the time you're still watching the Vooka Breakfast Show. Your energetic start to the day. The conversation we were in before the break was with Osvaldo right here on personal finance. So right now we're going to be joined by Nessa Mohoni right here. Nessa Jane Mohoni, who's going to be taking us through, man, a lot of things. And when it comes to, taking care of our health, wellness is something that is important in our lives. So, Nessa, can I please confirm if you can hear me? Okay, yeah. Ness can hear me off our health, Okay, sorry about that. Let me just mute these guys. So, Ness, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Ah, wonderful, wonderful. So before we get into the conversation, I'm just going to ask you to, rotate your phone into landscape. So,
Like this.
yeah, so when you switch on your data, so I just want you to go. There's an option right there on the top that's called auto rotate. So I want you to switch on that option, and then when you rotate your phone, you are going to be on a full screen. There we go. There we go. There we go. And I hope you are centered. Nah, I want you in the middle so that whoever is watching, they can see you clearly, and they can just, hear you clearly also, because we are working on making sure that we have a better sound right here for our viewers who are listening. But before we start our conversation, I would like to know, how are you doing this morning, Ness?
Good, thanks, and yourself?
I am very good. Once again, welcome to the Vooka Breakfast Show. Thank you so much for taking your time, to join us online. Unfortunately, you couldn't make it right here to the studio, but the power of technology, connects us through everywhere where we want to go. So we can't just wait to get into, the conversation with you. But now, getting straight into the conversation, for someone, who would like to know you and what you do, can you please take us through a brief, introduction of who you are and what you do?
Okay, my name is Jane Mohononi. I deal with the colon, which is our large intestine. So we make sure that we help our patients to naturally heal their system through the colon cleansing. Yes.
Colon cleansing. For one who's watching, they might be asking themselves, oh, Ness just mentioned colon cleansing. And what is exactly colon cleansing, Ness?
Colon cleansing is a process where we put in the purified water inside your colon. And then remember, your colon is the same height as you. So most of the time, we would think that we are these are actually not doing the pockets inside the colon.
Yeah.
So that the colon helps to go in those pockets and remove the drippies that you couldn't take them out.
So now, in terms of leading to that, how does one person get themselves, to get the colon cleanse?
I think nowadays the colon clinics are now being known. It depends where the person is, but on the internet, if they check their nearest colon cleansing, they can also find. So some can be referred by the medical practitioners. Some can be just decide that they want to leave anyone can do colon cleansing, anyone. Or except the person who's suffering from colon cancer and the kidney failure.
Yes. Thank you so much for that. Now, one would ask, how do I get colon cleansing? Is it something that is natural? That is something that I'm born with, or maybe I can contract it from someone else? How does one get, into the, colon cleansing?
Colon cleansing, it's not a sickness, it's a procedure.
Yeah.
It's a procedure that one gets. Someone would say that they are suffering from constipation, they are suffering from migraine, they are suffering from maybe the period pains. So anyone that is suffering from something, they should get colon cleansing. So it's a procedure. It's not something that you are sick. Like, colon cleansing is a procedure. Yeah, let me put it like that.
Yeah, thank you so much, for putting that clear, because we have people out there who are spreading misinformation, and telling people that, no, you are suffering from a colon cleanser. I'm like, what do you mean I'm suffering from a colon cleanser? But now, going into the steps and the process of someone getting a colon cleanser, can you take us through what are the processes of, going through the colon cleansing?
With us in Colon Health Clinic and Vitality Colon Health, what we do is that before the patient comes, we need to sit down with the patient, and then we take the history, the medical history, and we also explain to the patient that this is what's going to happen and the procedure in general before we start. Then from there, they go to the procedure bed. It's more like, if you know the spade, the ancient spade, it's more like a spade, but in a medicalized way, because the olden days spade, people will be rushing to the toilet. So what we do is that we take out everything while you are comfortably seated on your procedure bed, even talking to us. Like, we'll be talking and doing the procedure at the same time, comfortably, covered, and pain-free.
Yeah, interesting for that, because I know that there is
I can't hear you now.
Oh,
I think
all right, sorry, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah. So now, I mean, going through your background of experience in holistic health, you have helped hundreds of South Africans reclaim their energy, improve digestion, and boost their immune system through the colon hydrotherapy and also the IV drips. Before I get into people coming to you when it comes to improving their digestion and getting into what causes their digestion, to be infected, and what are some of the things that they intake in their bodies to get those kind of infection that needs to be healed. What is an IV drip?
Okay, let me start with the first one, because I realized you asked two.
Yeah.
The things that can lead them to have the problem with their digestion is that some people are born with, there's a condition we call IBS, irritable bowel syndrome. So the people that are suffering from that, unfortunately, there is no cure. They just need to manage the condition, where it doesn't matter what they eat, they will still have a constipation, but we usually try to advise them to go into a healthier diet and to avoid the gluten food and the lactose food, because those are the main ingredients that can lead to them having a problem with their digestive system. So others is those that, remember, as a human being, you need to go for number two to three times a day. So there are those that will just sit and not go when they feel the urge to go for number two. So initially, your colon will start to pack those waste, and then you will start to experience pains that you don't even know where they're coming from. So even those when they come, that we help them, because the minute your colon is too full, you'll start to experience your headaches, your backache, your all sorts of sicknesses that you might experience. And there's also, with the IVs, what we do, especially now because we are in the cold season, we are having an immune booster drip where we help your immunity to multiply so that it can fight or even prevent you from getting the flu. And also we have a libido drip that helps to stimulate erection, especially in men. And then we also have the energy booster for those that are in sports. So these ones are the IV drips. We have those that you see they are nowadays, especially women. We want to glow. We want to change our skin tone. So we also have those drips.
Yeah. Very interesting with that infection, with that information about that. I mean, one would ask themselves when it comes to detecting if there's something wrong with yourself, and how does one know that they are suffering from that problem and they need colon cleansing now?
Wow, that is very broad. Your skin you'll have a breakage, your skin will have pimples, you will have piles, hemorrhoids. Some can even develop the chronic illnesses that are induced by the toxins from the colon. You will have back pains, you will have problems with your feet. It's very broad. You'll have problems with your stomach. Like it's very broad. But usually when the patient comes, we attend the patient according to what they are complaining about. You'll just have a problem with your digestive system. As long as you not go for number two to three times a day, you have a problem.
Yeah. Very interesting. Now I think when someone hears this information, they will be like, I've heard so many people say things about colon cleansing, and I don't know which one is valid. So can you please take us through the misconceptions and some of the things that you have heard people saying about colon care which are wrong?
Okay, most people think that when they cleanse their colon, they are going to take out the bacteria. Remember, we have a culture bacteria inside the colon. So most people will think that bacteria will go out, not knowing that the minute you are suffering from constipation, the bacteria inside your colon has been compromised. And during the colon cleansing, there is something that we put inside the colon. We call it a probiotic. It assists your colon to actually reactivate the good bacteria that you should have inside your colon. And then some people will think, no, my lining of the colon is going to get finished. It will not get finished. Some think that we will poke their colon. So there's a lot of myths around the colon cleansing, which are so.
Yeah.
Because remember when we were growing up, our great grandparents, they will say, come, double plate, because they knew that most of the sicknesses, they start in the colon.
Yeah, that's true. Because I can attest to that. When growing up, such information was shared to us, and there are certain traditional medicines that will be given. That were believed to say this one kiona e flashing out into everything that's in your body and things like that. So for someone right now who's listening, all they care about is the safety and the risks that come with colon cleansing. So what are the potential risks or the side effects of colon cleansing?
Remember, we are removing a lot of chunks at the same time. So your system will go into shock because it's a lot of things that are coming out. And by the way, we are using purified water, just purified water, no chemicals, nothing. So that's what it also makes it safer. And then some people will result into cramps after. They will experience some minor cramps, but you also give them a probiotic shot after that to manage that. Some will feel nauseous, some will have mild headaches, but usually they don't last for too long. It will only be for that day. And then, yeah, that's the side effects that they would have. But we try to manage them with the probiotic shots that we give them after.
Yeah. Another one would want to know is, the difference between the colon hydrotherapy, and other forms of colon cleansing. Can you share some information on that?
The colon hydrotherapy, it means a lot of water. So the hydrotherapy, we use a 25 liter of tank to cleanse your colon. And it won't be done even with that 125 liter, because remember I said that your colon is the same height as you. So other methods they would use, I don't really know what they put inside, but they will use some other things to cleanse. And then just like even the laxatives, when you take your laxative to go for number 2, it will only assist for maybe 2 days, then you go back to the constipation because it didn't really do much. And other things is the chemicals that they use, which is danger to that lining of your colon also.
Yeah. And then when it comes to, people coming in and seeing you, I mean, how do you ensure, the client's comfort and relaxation during the process? So what are your tips? What is it that you do to make sure that, the client is not scared, of what they are seeing in front of them?
The first thing, they should know that we are qualified health professionals. So that gives them also a surety that these people went to school, they know what they are doing. And then also even the environment, when you come in, you can see that this is a very safe bed. This is even the pipes, we even show you what we use, because we use a speculum. We have a vaginal speculum, we have a rectum speculum. The vaginal speculum is the one that we use for pap smear. So the rectum one, we also show you that this is the one we use, and it's a use and discard because we don't want to do cross infection. So we show them that they are very safe with us.
Interesting. I'm sure that whoever is listening right now, they would love, to visit, your healthcare center right there, to get a colon cleansing, just to make sure that, their health is taken well care of. So for someone, who is interested in learning about, colon care, what qualification or training does one need to have to get into the space?
Okay, obviously the clinic has to have a medical professional. Then those that come under, they are trained as a colon therapist. So they can just Google any school. There's one in Devon, there's one in Cape Town, there's one in Pretoria, where you go and do your training as a colon therapist.
Interesting.
So even when they go into the clinics, they need to make sure that those people are well trained before they can actually assist them. Because like I'm saying, that a person with kidney problems, they are not allowed to do the cleansing. So if a person is not trained, obviously they will not know that I'm not allowed to do someone that has a kidney problem or someone that has a colon cancer. And they will be putting those people's life in danger.
Yeah. Thank you for that. And I hope that information is helpful to someone who is watching right now on YouTube and Facebook. So, Nessa, I wanted to get into the conversation of, that there are always things that are changing in the space, especially the technology that's being implemented, and also people's health. People eat different things and they come with complexities, of health conditions. So now, how do you stay updated with latest research and best practices within the colon cleaning care?
I always say that there's honestly no food that I can say, please eat this to keep your colon in good condition. Because as long as a person is healthy, and there are those that when I will give an example with the IBS again. People with IBS, as much as brown rice is healthy, they are not supposed to eat it. So I usually say to them, track what you eat. If you eat an apple, you know that when you have a IBS, you are not allowed to eat an apple. And we always say that one apple a day keeps the doctor away.
Yeah.
But with the IBS people, one apple a day, they actually takes them to the doctor. So I usually say they need to track what they eat. If you eat an apple and then you feel heartburn or you are bloating, then you need to know that it means my system does not digest this. So I need to stop eating the apple. People must just eat healthy, but track what they eat. You eat a brown rice, it means your system doesn't absorb the gluten. So now you need to start eating things that are gluten free. You drink soya milk. Soya milk is healthy. Then you start to get bloating. It means your system doesn't absorb soya milk. So try coconut milk. Try another healthy way of having milk. So people must just track what they eat.
Yeah. Thank you for that. Now, what I want us to talk about, is something that is, a burning thing for you that keeps you awake at night, that you always want to tell people to avoid doing, to make your job easier. What is it that you want to tell people right here on this platform, as someone who is in the space of colon cleansing? What is it that keeps you at night, that you always, want to address to people and they don't always get it right?
We need to take care of our system. We need to take care of ourselves. We need to exercise. Hydrate our system. Our body needs water, not flavored water, not fizzy drinks, water, pure water. So people must just take care of their colon, because that is where life begins and that is where life ends. If you are not taking care of your colon, you will surely experience a lot of unsettledness in your life, because you will have more sicknesses. So let's take care of our colons.
Wow.
Please.
Wow. Very profound words there from Nessa Jane Mohoni. And I hope that you guys are listening and taking that information and you are noting some of the things that you should avoid doing. So, Ness, if anyone wants to come right there and, receive your services that you're offering right there, where can they find you and how can they contact you?
They can call us on 064 828 5913. And also they can check us we are on all social media platforms. We have Vitality Colon Care Clinic. We also have Colon Health Clinic, which is in Limpopo, in Polokwane, Mukopane, and also Hammanskraal. And then in Pretoria is Vitality Colon Clinic. They can just call that number, 064 828 5913. Then they will find us.
Nessa, thank you so much for taking your time to be with us right here on the Vooka Breakfast Show. We hope to have you some other time, to share some of the things that we missed right here, because time is not on our side.
Sure, I would love to.
Yeah, thank you so much, Ness.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was Nessa Jane Mohoni right there telling us about the information that is relevant for you and me, so that you can get helped with some of the health complexities that you're facing right now. So she mentioned that you can go into their Facebook page, which is the Vitality Colon Care Clinic. That's all you need to do right there. And they have facilities in Limpopo and also Pretoria. All you need to do is to search them through, and if you want that colon cleansing is where you can get it. And of course, as she mentioned, that they're going to give you the best treatment, as their facilities have the latest and the modern technology you cannot find anywhere else. So it was a very interesting conversation that I had with her right here, and no comments came through. That means all of you guys are healthy, which is a good thing. You know, if we have somebody who is an health expert and we do not have questions from people, that means people are healthy. You know, shout out to you guys who are watching Abo Hector. TK, that means you are healthy. But I got a comment right there on WhatsApp from TK saying we have the feedback, but the technical guys were able to sort it out quickly so that we can get the quality sound and the visuals for the interview. But I think that is where everything ends right here on the Vooka Breakfast Show. It was nice being with you and giving you, man, that energetic dose of the day, with insightful conversations. We started with Osvaldo on personal finance. I mean, a lot of people, they have skepticism when it comes to investing. But Osvaldo was here to clear some of the rumors that you guys had when it comes to investing. So you should have more knowledge. There are people's books that you should study so that you can get that entry level into investing. Someone cannot just approach you and say, give me 250,000, it will come back as 1 million. You need to ask yourself, where are they going to go with that money, and how are they going to accumulate that money to get to 1,250 something thousand, right? So do make sure that you equip yourself with much knowledge to get into the space of investing, because a lot of people, they don't just invest for fun. They invest for their kids, their kids' future, education. It's the money that they want to use for their kids in the future. So information that was shared by Osvaldo is some of the information that you and I need. So we're going to chop that interview just to make things easier for you, and then we're going to post it on our social media platforms. We have Vooka Breakfast Show right now on YouTube. If you want to see it, do make sure that you press the notification button so that whenever it's dropped today, later, you're going to be notified that that interview we had with Osvaldo that spoke about investment is available for you to watch and learn. And I think it is an interview that is going to help a lot of people right here on the Vooka Breakfast Show. So that's all you need to do. On Facebook, we have Vooka Breakfast Show. TikTok is Vooka Breakfast Show. Do make sure to follow. Click the subscription button right there. Hector coming through our hashtag more is always nice to join in. I did have any questions. I was learning new things. Exactly. As because I noticed that most of the time when someone is here and they're new, I mean, we had someone who did colon cleansing, which is Nurse Jane Mahoney. I didn't know anything about colon cleansing, and I'm glad that this information has gone through to the right people, which is people who are watching right now. Each and every day, we bring you guests from various fields who are going to come and share the information that we lack, especially in the township. Such information is not shared with people. You know that there's something wrong with you, but you do not know where to go. But with conversations like this, they're going to be helpful for you and me, right? So that's why we are here for you each and every weekdays from 7 a.m. up until 10 a.m., giving you all what is best right here on Johannesburg. Soweto, Dobsonville, that is where we are streaming live. So right now, 4 minutes till we hit 10 o'clock, and that is where we came to the conclusion of today's show. And I would like to say thank you so much to everyone who has joined in and you've been with us until the end of the show. Please do make sure that tomorrow you join us, as it is a Comedy Wednesday. You know that Wednesdays are for laughter. We are going to be having some of their comedians coming right here in studio just to share with us their experience in the comedic unique comedian industry, to make sure that you and I, we are, we're given that information and understand the journey that they have been traveling as comedians. So, that we all want to laugh. So it started one day we have, even though we try on some days to make you laugh. But today it was no laughing matter because we're dealing with investments here. We don't laugh when we speak about investment. People lose serious monies right there. So tomorrow it's a normal day-to-day basis. It is Wednesday, comedy. So all you need to do is just to tune in from 7 a.m. up until 10 a.m. We will be with you, giving you those back in epic, interesting mornings. My name is Moketi Maimane, aka Max for maximum temperature, the son of Mother Nature. Generator. And by the way, extension 2, man. I don't know if you guys have electricity where you are right now, right? Unfortunately, I can't be right there and do the right things and bring the electricity on because I'm here. I'm generating the mutlakasi right here so that you and I, we can see each other. You're on your phone, on your TV, on your laptop. I am here generating. So right now I have to leave you and generate mutlakasi where I live right now so that we can do necessary things to be done and enjoy the rest of our Tuesday morning. It was nice being here with you. I'm going to see you again tomorrow morning. It is Wednesday. It is your favorite morning show, the Vooka Breakfast Show. So, without wasting any time, let me leave you. Thank you so much for being with us. Have a healthy day and have a, how can I say, with a personal finance, just to make you guys believe that, when it comes to we are in extension 2 and I have electricity. Or maybe it's back. What time is it? No, they said 5 to 10, man. 5 to 9. Okay, it's back. It's back. Thank you so much for the update, man. Hector, you're the best. You're the best. Always know that. But till tomorrow, guys, let me stop yapping too much because now I can feel myself going to sleep. Before I shut down, thank you so much for your support. Tomorrow, let's see each other right here and do the necessary things that we always do on the Vooka Breakfast Show. Cool stuff. I will see you.
Well, yeah, Chocolate Blossom memory. Yes.
Wow. Vooka Breakfast Show. We're out here in the heart of Soweto, Top Santon. This is right next to Zondi Hills and just before you get to Broad Fisher Club. I'm out here. My name is Musi Nest. I'm out here with the one and only maximum temperature. I'm working my TC 7 and of course our station manager, the one and only Panele Lyric. And we're traveling out here, man. This is what we do on the Vooka Breakfast Show.
Yeah, you gotta get it fresh.
We are fresh and nice. Now it's time to take the information to the people.
Of course, like Mo just mentioned, do stay tuned, comment, like, subscribe, share your thoughts and your opinions and everything else in between. We're going to be coming to a street to do live near you, wanting to know what your thoughts are out there on the street.
First, we've got TCO Mazibugo with the traffic update. Right now, we are going to N1 southbound to make sure that whatever that you guys get, it is real-time information. So looking at Mukhorosi, we have robots that are not working right here, but the traffic is moving. We're going to look at when is your rush hour time, when people are from the work or from school,
yes,
right?
Sir. Yes,
gonna give you your daily update. So do make sure that you stay with us. Mobile Vooka Breakfast
Yes,
Show.
sir.
Away.